live in seconds, so stand by. And of course, we've got the breaking news with Marjorie Taylor Greene. We'll talk about the Trump town hall, which was spectacular, and there are a bunch of other things happened yesterday. But I'm going to get into the details of this physical attack on Marjorie Taylor Greene, which is just outrageous. This physical attack. Here we go.
Since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right. Welcome to the program, everyone. It is Wednesday already, December 6, 2023. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. We've got a lot to cover, of course, but there's been, just like yesterday, breaking news. And we're going to get into the details of this. This just ticks me off. Before I get to the breaking news, just to let you know, there was an incredible town hall with President Trump last night, moderated by Hannity. We're going to cover that, and a whole bunch of other things happened. But breaking news has come to my attention, and I think the attention of most of you will be hearing this for the first time. Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was a guest on this program a couple weeks ago, Marjorie Taylor Greene was physically attacked by another member of Congress, a male and a Republican. She was physically attacked by a male Republican member of the House of Representatives, Marjorie Taylor Greene. You know, I just got in the mail yesterday my autographed copy of Marjorie Taylor Greene's autobiography, MTG. And then the first story I saw this morning when I started doing my show prep was this attack on Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I'm going to give you the details of it in just a moment. But I just want to say this. There is literally a global epidemic of violence against women that is being looked over and excused. The violence against women, the murders, the rapes by the Hamas terrorists against the Israeli women, you can hardly find a Democrat woman to condemn it. In fact, what they're really doing is almost excusing it. Now we have Marjorie Taylor Greene physically assaulted by another member of Congress, and it's an afterthought in the media. Let me read this. It's being reported by CNN as well. This is from the Gateway Pundit. Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene has said that GOP Representative Richard McCormick, who's also from Georgia, Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene said GOP Rep Richard McCormick got physically aggressive with her following a verbal argument over a resolution to censure Rashida Tlaib. So this Republican Congressman McCormick physically assaulted Marjorie Taylor Greene over Tlaib? What side is this guy on? Last month, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I know this is insane. By the way, this is not the first violence we've had recently by uniparty Republican establishment members of the House. A couple weeks back, remember, Kevin McCarthy elbowed in the kidneys a Republican member who voted for his removal as Speaker, remember? So there are two assaults by uniparty Republicans in the last couple of weeks on other members of Congress. Last month, Marjorie Taylor Greene reintroduced her resolution to censure Representative Rashida Tlaib after the first attempt failed. This comes after Tlaib called for genocide of Israeli Jews on Twitter one day after surviving her censure vote. Yeah, what a twisted person she is. Last month, Greene called out 23 Republicans who voted no to censure Tlaib. She posted on Twitter, hopefully the 23 Republicans who voted no to censure pro-terrorist, pro-Hamas, anti-Israel, anti-Semitic Rashida Tlaib will use their freedom of speech in Congress to censure, condemn terrorist Tlaib's speech, lies, and actions that incited an illegal occupation on October 18th. Remember that? Yeah, she led an occupation of Palestinian protesters on the Congress. According to CNN, Congressman McCormick grabbed Marjorie Taylor Greene's shoulders and shook her after an argument over the Tlaib censure. So he grabbed her on the shoulders and shook her. That is an assault. This guy, I don't care that just because you're in Congress does not mean it's not a federal crime to assault another federal official as he did. This guy should be arrested and charged with assault of a federal official, even though he's one. He should be, that's an extra charge to the assault. I'll tell you another thing. He should be expelled from Congress today. It should have happened already. Well, I'm just learning about it this morning, but he should be expelled from Congress immediately. Whatever you think of George Santos, and there were a lot of claims and charges, and I'm sure he's guilty of that and much more, but I didn't see any allegations against George Santos that involved physical violence against women. Did I miss that part of the Santos case last week? Why Santos expelled, but this guy can go around attacking women who were members of the Congress and nothing happens? According to CNN, and this comes from Marjorie Taylor Greene, and so far as I'm concerned, if Marjorie Taylor Greene said it, it's the gospel. Just like Trump. According to CNN, Congressman McCormick grabbed Marjorie Taylor Greene's shoulders and shook her after an argument over the Tlaib censure vote. McCormick told CNN he meant it as a friendly gesture. Really? Grabbing a woman? You don't put your hands on another congressman, and you don't put your hands on other women, and you certainly don't grab their shoulders and shake them. That is assault. That is a felony. Even if she wasn't a member of Congress, that would be a felony. I understand why there would be a lot of raw emotions following the censure vote, given that her censure was tabled and mine passed. This is McCormick. My intention was to encourage Representative Greene by making a friendly gesture. He called it a friendly gesture again. Who do you believe? Marjorie Taylor Greene says he grabbed her by the shoulders and violently shook her. He said, oh, friendly gesture. I said to her, this is McCormick, I said to her, at least we can have an honest discussion, to which she said she did not appreciate that. For that, I immediately apologized and have not spoken to her since. CNN reports this. In a private meeting with House Speaker Mike Johnson last week, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene accused fellow Georgia Republican Representative Richard McCormick of getting physically aggressive with her, according to multiple sources familiar with the matter. A charge that McCormick has denied, saying it was a friendly gesture again. Marjorie Taylor Greene claimed to Johnson, our new MAGA speaker, that McCormick grabbed her by the shoulders and shook her following a public spat they had over competing resolutions to censure Democrat Rep. Rashida Tlaib of Michigan, the source said, and asked the Speaker of the House to address the issue. McCormick voted against Greene's censure resolution and then introduced his own, a more narrow version, which prompted Greene to say to reporters at the time that McCormick had his ego bruised. So he publicly bashed other Republicans who voted against her resolution. In a statement provided to CNN, McCormick said the interaction was intended to be friendly, but he apologized to the Congresswoman in the moment after realizing she did not receive it that way. Well, you can't physically assault someone, apologize, and make it go away, okay? What's going on here? Since when did violence against women become okay? We have two instances of Kevin McCarthy Republicans in the House. Kevin McCarthy was the first in the last 2 to 3 weeks assaulting MAGA Republican members of the House. And we're the dangerous ones? Are you kidding me? Now, there's a lot of questions I have here. I'd like to know who else was in the room. Were there any men in the room who didn't stand up for Marjorie Taylor Greene? Or was this in complete private? Is there video of this? Was this in a room where there are cameras? Why is this okay? I want to hear your thoughts on this. And I'll tell you, this guy should be removed from the Congress today. He laid his hands on a woman and violently shook her. He assaulted Marjorie Taylor Greene. No debate. Bring it to the vote. And I don't think it would pass. I think the uniparty Republicans, I think every single Democrat would vote against removing McCormick. And I think all these Kevin McCarthy Republicans would vote against removing him. Let's bring it to a vote today, and let's find out who in the United States House of Representatives think it is okay to assault women. Let's get it out there. Go on the record. I'm against assaulting anyone, in particular women. All right? So my vote, if I were in Congress, would be to expel him immediately. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Our number is toll free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. I'm going to talk about a lot of other things today, including the town hall with President Trump with Hannity last night and a lot more. But I want to hear your thoughts on this. This I just found out about when I woke up this morning, and I'm pretty ticked about it, and I would imagine you are too. 1-888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. This is the Steve Kane Show with Craig.
Sloman's home security system and free doorbell camera with professional installation is free. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera. You get a doorbell camera. And even you get a doorbell camera.
Now, guys, call in. Let me know what you think about this. I want to hear your thoughts on this. And do you think that this guy should be removed, expelled?
Your Sloman shield. And wait a minute, that's not all. Sloman's is going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station.
Well, you assault a woman, you're out.
LED touchscreen pad, 10 contacts, backup battery, and service.
Tell me I'm wrong. I'm not gonna allow. I'm not gonna stand for approving of assault against women.
Sloman's Home Security, the ultimate in home security. Call 833-283-5050. That's 833.
And we'd still be in the majority. I'm sorry.
Are you living your best life? Are you feeling the way you know you should be? This is John, CFO at Lighthouse.
I'm sorry. Call me on the air. Tell me either way. Now, if you've not done it yet, there's still time for Christmas. Your Mighty Maga Lion. Oh, man. There's a link right there pinned to the top of the chat. There's a link in the description of the video as well, or you can go to mightymagalion.com. Oh, man. This is the hottest Christmas gift of the year. This is the only Trump-inspired merchandise wearing the MAGA hat. These are available exclusively through me. They are limited edition. When they are gone, they are gone. If you buy more than one, you get a discount. So if you're watching live, click that link in the chat. Click the link in the video description, or just go to mightymagalion.com. And if you order during the show today, it will go out today. Got a big shipment of these that I'm mailing out later today. Yours will go out if you order during the live stream today. mightymagalion.com. Order yours. You'll love it. Oh, yeah. I'm pissed about it. Aren't you guys pissed? Since when is violence against women all of a sudden okay? I don't understand. There are people in here who said he shouldn't be expelled.
Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road, because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
All right, here we go.
Back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM. The Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM. Hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM. Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM. And anywhere in the world.
All right, welcome one and all. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Callers on hold, stand by. Marjorie Taylor Greene assaulted by a male member of Congress. Now, the clock is ticking to our 5th annual cruise. Oh, man, Steve Kane and I, we take a cruise with our listeners each and every year. This is the 5th. We're sailing on the Celebrity Beyond. Oh, man, this is a beautiful ship. We're going to the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. It's in the 50s this morning. It's going to be beautiful, man, on the cruise. Perfect time of year, perfect weather. I've always wanted to go to Aruba, and you're all invited. Now, if you're already booked, make sure you sign up for the shore excursions. We have shore excursions in every port, and you can call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. He'll help you sign up for the shore excursions. I had to call him to sign up myself, okay? I had a difficult time figuring it out on my own. So I called Ian, he got me all hooked up. The shore excursions, again, we have one in every port, and in one port we have 2. They are exclusive to our group. No outsiders allowed. So call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot, 561-244-5779. We're sailing out of Fort Lauderdale on April 27th, 561-244-5779. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Richie.
Yeah, well, here we go, Brian. This is one we're not going to agree on. First of all, you said there's assaults of women all over the world and Hamas is raping women, and you're trying to tell the audience that Hamas raping Jewish women is the same as somebody shaking Marjorie Taylor Greene's shoulder.
When did I say that? When did I say that?
You brought it up earlier. You don't even know what you said.
I know what I said. I've been up for hours, and there's a global attack on women, and we don't have because
Oh?
I am comparing that there's violence against women taking place, and no one is you can. By the way, you can kill somebody shaking them by the shoulders.
You shake a baby, you could kill it. Listen.
Oh, okay. So let me get on the record here. I just want to see where you are. See, I'm against laying hands on women. I'm against violence against women. Are you telling me that going up to a woman, putting your hands on her shoulders, and violently shaking her, you're cool with that? That's okay. That's okay to you? Yeah, that's okay to you?
No. You didn't hear what I said.
I heard what you said.
For family, okay, there's never been any kind of problem like that with me. The point that I'm bringing up to you is, I don't think you're overreacting. But at the same time, we have such a minority.
Well, first off, okay, slow down on that. Slow down on that, because I want to get into that part. There's a global epidemic of violence against women, and all I'm hearing is denials and excuses. Now, are you about to tell me, I'm going to stop you before you do some more damage to yourself, Richie. I heard what you said, that last syllable there of that word. Are you about to tell me that our majority is so slim that women have to put up with abuse, that men who abuse women should be allowed to sit in Congress if they're a Republican? Is that what you're about to tell me?
I'm about to tell you this last guy that got expelled, I wouldn't have expelled him either because of the numbers. I don't want to turn over the Congress to...
Oh, okay. So how much violence can a Republican commit against a woman before you would remove them?
Well, I hate to tell you this. I don't think shaking the shoulder.
No. He didn't shake the shoulder. He went up to her and put his hands on both of her shoulders, grabbed onto her shoulders, and shook her. That is very violent.
Did you see that?
I know what Marjorie Taylor Greene said, and I believe Marjorie Taylor Greene.
And you know, like I said, I'm not for nothing, and I'm not doing any damage to me. I don't.
Oh yeah.
Should have done that.
Oh.
I don't believe you
but.
I don't believe you should throw them out of Congress.
Really?
I think you're overreacting.
Really? So if during the break at the bottom of the hour, if I went out into the hallway of the radio station, started yelling at a woman, grabbed her by the shoulders, and violently shook her, you think that's okay?
No. And I told you, if we lose this thing, according to you, if we got a majority.
This I just wanted to. Okay, Richie the bus driver is saying that the Republican majority in the House is slim. Therefore, if you're a Republican man in the House, you can beat women. Is that what you're saying?
No, you see, you beat. She didn't get beaten, and you're so out of control, man. I got to tell you something. You sound like a woman yourself. And that's the bottom line. And I'm not a macho man. You're like a woman yourself. Mr. Gallup, you must, when you open the car door for your wife, every time you get out of the car, if there's a puddle, you put a coat over, you take your shirt off. You know, you're too much already. First of all, I'm talking about the material.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing, it's so funny here. It's so funny with this. You know what? This is so bizarre with Richie because a lot. Slow down. I'm an emotional wreck. You're the one screaming like a hysterical woman. But Richie the bus driver is now. Many of you that are old enough will get this reference. Okay, Mike won't get this reference. But what you are saying what another famous bus driver once said: "To the moon, Alice." Right? To the moon, Alice.
I'm not saying that.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it.
Good at it. You're very good at it. What I'm saying is, to me, it was wrong. But to me, that is not enough to turn the Congress over to the crazy Democrats.
First off, we have more than one vote majority. We wouldn't turn it over to the Democrats.
We would only have 2.
So what? I don't think that we should be allowing men who attack physically women to sit with us in the Congress.
And I hate to say this, then you might as well put Tlaib and Omar and the rest of them in there, and you might as well.
But I'll tell you what, Richie. If this went for a vote today, an expulsion vote, many men like you think it's okay to rough women up because our majority is only 3. How big would the majority have to be before you stood up against roughing women up?
Listen, what I'm going to tell you. MAGA Republicans would not take your position. They would vote against throwing this guy out of Congress.
So let me ask you, how big would our majority have to be before you would say no to roughing women up? 5, 10?
They throw this guy out as 2. You know what you're.
So what else can McCormick do? He roughed up a woman. Can he tune up another woman and be okay with you?
What do? Kick her in the behind too? You know, unbelievable what I'm listening to.
All right.
Let them settle it in-house. But on here and tell them, let the whole. But I guarantee you, MAGA Republicans would vote to keep this guy in.
I don't think Matt Gaetz would say okay to giving women tune-ups like you are. Richie, thanks for the call. I'm in shock. I'm not in shock that Richie feels that way. I'm in shock that he vocalized it and doesn't think anything's wrong with what he said. Marjorie Taylor Greene was assaulted. This man physically assaulted a woman. I want to hear your thoughts on that. Because our majority would only be 2, what if he roughed up 3 or 4 other women? Would that be okay because the majority's so slim? Really? 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is our number. 888-465-2631. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again.
I think you're gonna really love it.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Do you believe Marjorie Taylor Greene? Yes or no?
The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good day, everybody. We're going to see daytime highs today in the low 70s.
Wow.
Cloudy skies after a brisk start this morning in the 50s. We'll get down into the 50s again.
She reported it to the speaker.
First warning meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture, Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach.
I believe Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Is the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you
Where
by
am I?
Kennel Club.
In Lake Worth on the I-95 northbound off ramp to 10th Avenue North, we have a disabled vehicle blocking the off-ramp right shoulder. Another right shoulder block, 995 heading northbound at Forest Hill, also on the southbound side up to 45th Street. But as far as the major expressways go and the service routes, we are both crash-free at this time. The rest of Broward County is looking good as well. We do have construction blocking the left lane, Lakeview Avenue westbound at Flagler Drive. This one is sponsored by eBay Motors. eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need for the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. That's traffic, Chris Barr.
Traffic, a service of the
This is our bottom of the hour break, guys. I'm just getting set up for the next segment.
South Florida's premier sports card and memorabilia show with amazing vendors and JSA autograph authentication, plus free admission and parking, prizes, and great food and drink options. Plus, catch all the exciting OTB racing and poker action and big games on our Super Sports TVs.
Yeah.
Tickets and dining certificates make great holiday gifts.
Crazy.
KennelClub.com.
Brian Craig here. I've suffered with massive pain in my knee for years, but not anymore. It's all gone, thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain system. I'm in studio right now with Dr. Appleton. Dr. Appleton, how'd you do it?
By treating knee pain with laser, treatment is simple and no side effects. I have robotic lasers that have a wonderful effect on joint pain. These are all FDA approved.
Now, you don't just help with knees. Tell the listeners what other...
Marjorie Taylor Greene's in shape, but she's small. She's much smaller in person than you think. I've met her.
Stenosis, arthritis, tendonitis, bursitis, from the foot all the way up to the neck.
Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician. And with the
And this guy McCormick, I don't know how tall he is.
surgery and no drugs.
I don't know how big he is. Richard McCormick? Let me see if I can find out.
Call right now for your free consultation. 954-973-0710.
Let's see if we can find out.
954-973-0710. Make sure to tell Dr. Appleton you heard about him on the radio. If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. Tom Laporta will give you a free evaluation. Laporta Contracting was voted one of the best general contractor and best roofers in South Florida. He's honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and will never sell you a roof you don't need.
Oh my goodness.
Insurance claim, call your insurance company immediately. Then call Tom Laporta. New laws are in effect that allow Tom to negotiate directly with your insurance company on the cost of all repairs, so you don't necessarily need to employ a public adjuster or a lawyer. Tom can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings.
He's a Marine.
If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it.
He's a freaking Marine. And he served in the Navy. He's a naval commander, too.
4602 954 604 4602.
Oh, my goodness.
Contracting.com.
This is nuts.
Jupiter Joe Money Show presents Christmas Oldies and News. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
This is nuts.
True Oldies channel every day at noon for Christmas Oldies. Feel the magic of the season with 1 hour of your holiday favorites. It's Christmas Oldies each day at noon. The True Oldies channel.
This is John from Lighthouse Medical Center, CFO and Director of Neuropathy. We want to welcome you to Lighthouse Medical Center this year. It's our 75th anniversary, and we've been able to help a lot of patients. We want to be able to help you with your neuropathy issues as well. You have numbness, burning, pain, tingling, lack of sleep, or balance issues, please come see us and let us help you with that problem. There's hope out there for you. We've had thousands of patients come through Lighthouse Medical Center. Being able to see the quality improved in their life and being able to help them and their family has been a blessing to us and a blessing to them, and we look forward to doing that for the next 75 years. We don't just treat neuropathy at Lighthouse Medical Center. We have a specialized knee pain program with non-surgical solutions for bone-on-bone
Yeah.
and knee pain issues.
This is
We
nuts.
also treat chronic back pain, ankle, knee, hip, and shoulder pain. Call for a free consultation with us today. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642.
This is nuts, this guy.
When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now at Boca and any lab test now at Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed. You're in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit any lab test now
Here we go.
Craig, celebrating 46 years of...
All right, callers on hold, stand by. If you're just tuning in, Marjorie Taylor Greene was attacked physically by a male Republican member of Congress, Congressman McCormick. He grabbed her by the shoulders and violently shook her. She's reported it to the speaker and asked him to investigate. And Richie says that's okay because we only have a 3-seat majority, so it's okay for this guy to assault women. And I look him up. Listen to this. This is McCormick. This is who assaulted Marjorie Taylor Greene. Listen to this. He served in the United States Marine Corps. Oh my God, he's a Marine. He also served in the Navy for over 20 years. In the Marine Corps, he was a helicopter pilot. And then in the Navy, he reached the rank of commander. He's also an emergency room physician. He is in the Marines, they train you to kill. She was assaulted by a Marine who has Marine Corps training. But Richie says it's okay. We only have a 3-seat majority after all. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm Louise, the masked lady from Boca.
Yes.
I have to agree with Richie.
Well, of course, because you always do, because you got a thing for Richie. You got a thing for Richie.
To throw the guy out? Yes, it was a terrible...
See, the thing is, Louise, it's not that you've got that you like Richie. You don't like me. And you like that Richie and I have a conflict, so you bond out of your dislike of me. But you're telling me as a woman that if you were in Publix today, right? You go to Publix to shop, right? You go to Publix? If you went to Publix today and a Marine came up to you and put his hands on your shoulders and started shaking you, that's okay?
I didn't say it was okay, and neither did Richie. But you make such a...
Okay, so what should be done? If a Marine came up to you at Publix today, grabbed you by both shoulders, and violently shook you, Lorraine, what should happen to him? Louise, whatever, Louise. What should happen to him?
To throw him out of...
No. I'm talking about the man. If a man shook you by your shoulders, a Marine like this guy did to Marjorie Taylor Greene at Publix today, would you want that man arrested?
Oh, come on. That's a little much.
No, I'm serious. Should a man be arrested if he shook you by the shoulders at Publix?
No.
Really? Is there anyone out there that believes the mask lady thinks that Marines can come up to her at Publix, grab her by the shoulders, and violently shake her, and what? You would just let him, you wouldn't call the police?
You twist things around, you do. I mean, to make a thing just like DeSantis with the damn high heels.
No, we're not talking about DeSantis, and we're talking about, are you telling me, this is so revealing about people. So a man comes up to you at Publix today, he's a Marine, like this guy, grabs you by the shoulders, and violently shakes you. What would you do?
You're just as bad. You're worse than Hannity. You don't let a person talk.
Well, answer my question.
I'm saying that's terrible. Yes, it is terrible.
Would you call the police?
I don't think I'd call the police.
Really? What would you do? So if you were violently assaulted today at Publix, you would do nothing. You would...
Had a current events group. We used to practically kill each other in the class.
Really? So you've had a Marine come up to you and violently shake you and assault you?
It like out of context. Somebody coming out of nowhere and doing that, and in the heat of the moment, in a terrible discussion, or
in the heat of a moment. Okay, so this is interesting, mask lady. So this is it. You're older. You're from a different era than I'm from. We're of different generations. You're telling me that in the heat of the moment, it's okay for a man to commit violence against women?
Richie did not say that.
I'm asking you. I'm not asking. I'm asking you. Are you telling me in a heated argument it is okay for a man to assault a woman?
I didn't say that.
Well,
you twist things around to make it as though I said it.
All right. Well, take the mask off so you can get some more oxygen. She likes Richie because Richie and I fight, and she doesn't like me, so she's got that bond. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Christopher from Texas.
Hey, Christopher.
I'm actually calling with experience, not like the past callers you actually had. I've actually gone through this before, and that's the reason why I decided to call you. Here in the state of Texas, if you actually do put your hand on somebody, regardless if they liked it or not, you actually can file a Class C misdemeanor charge against them. It actually happened to me here in my county with the second richest guy. I was on church grounds, and he actually grabbed me by my shoulder and pushed me back. And I didn't think I actually could call the cops. When I did call the cops actually laughed at me. They thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
But they took the police report anyway.
Yeah.
Out that the guy did it before multiple times.
Sure.
And the sheriff here actually praised me for it because they actually had a file against him for a while because he was assaulting people. They had so much money that he was paying people off.
So what do you think about these last two callers that think violence against women is okay? Because our majority is only 3.
Brian, they have no experience of it actually happening to them. I've actually had it happen to me before. My advice to Taylor Marjorie Greene is she needs to go to the local police station. She needs to file assault charges against the guy with his first, middle, and last name. Have a file built up against him. Then take it to court. Once she wins, and
now I will tell you, this this is a federal crime because she's a member of the United States Congress. This happened in the Capitol. She reported it to the speaker, and I don't know anything about this guy, but typically, I'm not saying this is true of him because I've not heard of him before today. I've heard his name once or twice, but I don't know anything about him before today with this disgusting act. This isn't the kind of thing that most people just do out of the blue. Somebody that did this to Marjorie Taylor Greene probably has done this before to women. This is not a first-time kind of... You just don't all of a sudden go and start assaulting women.
Exactly, because they're always going to have like a past history, but the only way to expose those past histories is one person has to speak up against that person. Now,
and I will tell you, you guys that have listened for a long time, I have been a victim of assault multiple times from listeners of this program. There have been several instances where I have been very physically assaulted. One time I was almost killed by a listener who stalked me to my home and attacked me in the middle of the night, hiding in the bushes. I've been punched, pushed. I've been hit in the face by I've been assaulted, and it's not good, and it's bad. And when people do it, and they get away with it, they'll do it again.
Exactly, and never listen to the criticism. People are always going to make fun of you and make fun of the whole situation, no matter how small it is.
That's true.
You don't know how big it is until you actually look up the laws. Every single law in each state and each county are all different, so she needs to look at all the laws. I mean, she should know all the laws.
She knows. All right, I appreciate the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Cynthia.
Hey, Cynthia.
How are you?
All right.
Marjorie Taylor is absolutely right. This is ridiculous, but I think we're going to see more of it. People are crazy. Men should never behave like that. I mean, real men don't behave like that. And unfortunately, we have so many liberal women or women also on the right who have been convinced from the women's liberation movement, that have ruined it for real women like myself, who had a real man, who passed away, who opened the door, who defended me. Men don't hit women. Men don't push women. They don't do that. I had somebody do something to me many years ago outside of a restaurant. It was a politician type of thing. And let me tell you, I let his politician know, and I said, this is somebody that you have working for you? This is unappropriate. This is really sad.
Yeah.
The other thing I'd like to say is that I don't watch television. I got rid of it in 2016.
Now, you're very smart.
I will not support Fox and frauds. Okay? Paul Bryan on the board.
That's right.
Murdoch kid sits on the board. Now, why does Trump go on there? He goes
on there to reach people.
Yes, and also because he has to. But I'm going to tell you, Hannity is no friend of ours.
Oh, I agree with that. I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but President Trump was very good last night. I got a couple clips I'm going to share of his.
Nothing about Trump. I am all in with Trump. He has to do what he's got to do.
He's got to go. To win, you've got to reach people that don't already agree with you. You've got to bring people over. You just can't preach to the choir.
Well, the problem with Fox and Frauds, and that's what I call them all over Twitter, and that's who they are, is that the people have been convinced war is good. Okay? They went along and we voted for Romney, which I opposed. Anybody, let me tell you.
Well, Sydney, I want to try to keep a little focused here right now, but I'm up against the break, so I'll give you the last word.
Okay. My point about all this is everybody needs to do their homework. We have to support Trump 100%, even when he does things we may not agree with. I agree with him. I just am saying I don't watch Fox and Frauds. I believe that we have to get smart. Anytime anybody speaks or you're giving money to an organization, my thing is go look them up.
Yep, that's a good idea. All right, we got to run, but I appreciate the call, Cynthia from MAGA Martin County. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hi, it's Kate from Will Floor You. Let's get your home in shape for the upcoming holidays with some new floors from Will Floor You. Now is the time to get new flooring because we've marked down our entire on-hand inventory of carpeting, waterproof luxury vinyl, and laminate. Spruce up any room in your home for less, and it's on hand for prompt professional installation or do-it-yourself with over 100,000 square feet in stock. You'll find just what you're looking for: nice plush carpeting to cozy up a bedroom, a custom area rug to jazz up any space.
Oh, Chris, that was a good call, Chris.
Lifestyles we all love about Florida living. You're sure to find just the right floor with the help from our knowledgeable sales staff, and for far less than you imagine. So I invite you to our new expanded store in Jupiter at the corner of Indiantown Road and alternate A1A, in the shops of Jonathan's Landing, right next to Paulette.
Richie was always not like Marjorie Taylor Greene. So
That's true.
He's just anyone else he would probably defend.
I bet his wife wasn't home listening to that call.
Yeah,
There's no way.
Because if she was,
She'd kick his butt.
Yeah.
Kick his butt.
Shake his shoulders. How do you
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Oh. I mean, I was shocked. I was really surprised at Richie, weren't you? That was a little surprise from Richie. Well, we only have a 3-seat majority, so he can do. What else can he do? Well, I'm sorry. They should not have expelled Santos. If he was expelled, would Georgia have a special election, or would the governor appoint a replacement? He's a retired county bus driver. I used to ride his bus before I had a car when I was like in middle school. The governor would appoint? Well, thank you, Charmaine. Yes, and please, everyone, like the video. Indeed, we're back. If you're on hold, stand by. Marjorie Taylor Greene assaulted by a Republican male member of Congress. Richie and the mask lady think it's okay. Our majority is so small that it's okay to attack women. We only have a 3-seat majority, and if we expel him, it'll only be 2. Oh, my goodness. Okay, now today is December 6th. Tomorrow is December 7th. That's the last day of open enrollment for those of you on Medicare. If you're a Medicare recipient, there is still time to call Debbie at I Will Advisors. She'll review your Medicare policy to make sure that you're good to go next year. You want to make sure your doctors are covered, including your primary care physician and your specialist. Sometimes doctors change. They're not covered on your policy the next year. You need to find out. Make sure your prescriptions are covered. Remember, Steve had a $4,000 a month prescription not covered. Debbie got it covered for him. No matter where you are in the state of Florida, Debbie from I Will Advisors can help. But time's almost out. Tomorrow's the last day of Medicare open enrollment. Her number, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, you talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, hey, Brian, it's Angeles Antonio. Hey, look, I wanted to just say everything you're saying about Marjorie Taylor Greene is right. They shouldn't touch it. They shouldn't put their hands on it, and it's wrong to even any afflictions whatsoever going to a woman, no matter how mad you are, what your politics are. You should never put your hands on a woman. But one thing I want to say to you, you should get that new album by Michael McDonald. I swear to God, it should be Trump's call to arms. Listen to me, if you.
You mean Michael McDonald? You mean like the old 80s guy, Michael McDonald?
Oh no! It's this new young guy. He raps. Oh my God! Listen to me.
Oh, a rapper?
Go crazy.
I'll check it out.
Crazy if you. Oh, it's called American Flag.
American what? What? What's it called?
American Flag.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear the L, and okay. American Flag. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. American Flag with an L. I will check it out. All right. Take care. I appreciate the call. By the way, what group was Michael McDonald in? Michael McDonald, the original Michael McDonald. What group was he in? Was he in the Doobie Brothers? Was he in Chicago? Michael McDonald. What group was he in? I don't remember. Tom McDonald is the guy's name. Okay, the rapper's Tom McDonald. I'm thinking of Michael McDonald. I know two McDonalds, Michael and Ronald. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Sandra from Boca. How are you?
Hey, Sandra. I'm not good. There are people in this listening audience that believe that the Republican majority is so slim in the House that Republican House members can assault women, and that's upsetting to me.
It's upsetting to me, too. I don't agree with it whatsoever. I don't know what's going on in the math lady's mind because she sounds like an older lady. So, I don't know. I mean, I grew up in a different era. It doesn't matter what a person says, does, whatever it is, because we're living in an era where you don't know what people are capable of. When they're dismissive like that, and they say, well, you know what, not a big deal. Okay, what kind of example are you setting? What kind of example are you setting then by saying, you know what, not a big deal? Oh, we kill each other in our meetings. Well, good for you. Kudos to you, but that's not how it really works.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
First of all, in poor taste, no manners, no class.
That's right.
Yeah. So, and not to mention the fact that poor Marjorie Taylor Greene had to be subjected to that.
Well, and I know people are saying, why didn't she go to the police? You know, as an assault victim myself, several times from nice people in this listening audience, okay, when you're assaulted, it's very traumatic, and you don't always go to the police right away. She went to the Speaker of the House, okay, Johnson, and it's on him now.
I just don't understand why they think it's something that's not such a big deal. But in the meantime, it's like they're talking to both sides of their face. They're saying, well, it's not right, but we're not going to...
I mean, Richie, I used to ride Richie's bus when he was a Broward County bus driver when I was in middle school up till I got a car in high school, like 9th grade or so. And I know a lot of people will say, how do you remember? How could you forget that mouth? His mouth was just as big back then. It's just he was looking up at the mirror when he was doing his talking, and he was a lot thinner. So I remember him clearly. But if a man on one of his buses took a woman by the shoulders and shook her, you don't think Richie would pull over and intervene? I think he would. I don't know what his beef is with Marjorie Taylor Greene where he thinks this is okay. I don't get that. And the masked lady, she just hates me, and I'd tune her out. She'd call the cops, and I'd be right there. I'd call the cops if I saw that happening, and I didn't know the person.
Me too, because you don't know what people are capable of these days. We're not living in the same times that we were living in before.
No.
So it's not right. It's not right. So what's the next thing? Pull a gun? What?
And this guy's a Marine. So he's been trained. I mean, And listen, I'm not accusing him of anything beyond what we know, but this kind of action, I would be shocked if this was the first time he's ever done something like that to a woman.
I mean, what could have been so bad that he would do it anyway?
They were fighting over Tlaib because she wanted Tlaib censured, and he was excusing Tlaib. It was over Tlaib. Can you believe?
Yeah, that's a whole other ball of wax right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Hey, listen, if they expelled Santos didn't hit women. Santos didn't shake women. Santos wasn't violent. They expelled him. I'm sorry that it will leave us with a 2-seat majority. I'm sorry, but we can't stand for... listen, we're not Democrats. Democrats ran a guy for president after they knew he raped Juanita Broderick, and they voted for him, okay? We're not Democrats. We don't excuse violence against women just because they got an R next to their name. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I was thinking the same thing, actually. I said, that sounds almost like a Democrat statement. Like, it's okay.
Well, listen, there's a lot of people that are new Republicans, and some of them still have some of that Democrat stuff in their bones.
Maybe.
They haven't fully recovered yet. All right, appreciate the call. Great calls today, by the way, I must say. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. Morning. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, this is Chris from Broca. You should never put your hands on a woman, but I want to say, would you sell Steve for, say, censure or loss of committees, something like that?
No, this is an act of violence against a woman. No, this is an act of violence against a woman. I think they should have an expulsion vote today and let them get the yay and nays, and let's find out who's in the Congress that thinks it's okay to assault women. And we know every Democrat would support it. Let's find out who the Republicans are. We wouldn't lose the 3-seat majority because he would survive the expulsion vote.
I'm not even concerned about the majority. I'm just saying, would you settle for
no
a censure vote and also
No, that's nothing. Who cares about that? No, that's nothing.
People in his district here.
Please. Please.
I'm just saying. Well, you have a good show.
All right, take care. I appreciate it. No, I'll just restate what I said to him in a calmer way. We would still, if they had an expulsion vote on this guy, we'd still have a 3-seat majority because they wouldn't remove him. Don't you get it? Don't you get it? Kevin McCarthy assaulted a MAGA Republican member about 2-3 weeks ago. Remember, I played the audio on the air. He elbowed a guy in the kidneys during an interview. Remember that? Every Democrat would vote to keep this guy in the House, even though they're Me Tooers, because they don't like the woman he assaulted. And these Kevin McCarthy Republicans would vote to keep him in too. We wouldn't lose the majority. But we need these people to go on the record and so that we know who believes it's okay to commit violent acts against women. I want to tell you guys, I called Mike Lindell's office 2 days ago and asked him to do this. I spoke to his assistant. She said, let me get back to you. Let me talk to Mike. They called me back in seconds, less than a minute, and said, okay. Through December 15th, free shipping on all My Pillow products with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, no matter what you buy. And this is really exciting because my daughter, we're buying her a new mattress. And so we're going to get, mattress is a big thing. We're going to get free shipping plus the discount specials because they have mattress specials going on. But free shipping on all items at MyPillow.com with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, but only until December 15th. You can also do that over the phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. That's a big gift that Mike Lindell gave. And he did that because he appreciates you and this listening audience who have supported him and this program, all right? So free shipping on all MyPillow items with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, or when you call, all right? Take advantage of that. Only until December 15th, though, okay? That's it. That's a pretty good deal. Now, I'm going to continue with this. You're welcome to call in on this throughout the show. I'm going to share some. I'm going to bring up some other things after the top, but I'll tell you, There's violence against the Israeli women at the music festival. Can't even read these stories. Now we know why they targeted the music festival. Because there's hot girls at music festivals, and they got these terrorists in this rape mindset, and they did it. And it's god-awful. And it's like pulling wisdom teeth to get an American female Democrat to condemn the rape and murder of Israeli women, isn't it? Most of them won't even condemn it. And now we have this. Where are the men? My goodness. All right. I got to calm down. This has just been a really, last couple days, the news coming out. It's upsetting. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show. This is Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We've got a lot to cover. There's a big story about Zelensky, just as a mental note that I want to share with you coming up. It's unconfirmed. Some things are leaking out about Zelensky being overthrown. We're going to get into that a little bit later. And the town hall with the great President Trump last night, hosted by Sean Hannity. Got some of that and a whole bunch more. This is the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian, back after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3.
All right, now. Oh. Cool. Now, if you've not done it, order your Mighty Mega Lion. This is the greatest Christmas gift, I tell you. Whoever you give this to, if it's yourself or anyone on your gift-giving list, they will love the Mighty Mega Lion. If you're watching live, there's a link pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link. There's also a link in the video description, or just go to the website, mightymagalion.com. This is available exclusively through me. My wife and I partnered up with Dee, who's one of our moderators. I saw her in the chat earlier. We designed and had these made. They are limited edition. Once they're gone, they're gone. This is the only Trump-inspired merchandise like this that's wearing the MAGA hat too. MightyMagaLion.com. If you order more than one, you get a discount. All right? So you can click that link in the chat, order yours. I got a huge batch going out today. So if you order during the live stream today, yours will be shipped out today as well. All right? But you got to order during the live stream to guarantee shipping today. But if you order during the program today, your lion or lions, if you buy more than one, will be shipped today. All right? Appreciate that, guys. You'll love it. Oh, yes. Oh, okay. Which one of these stories am I going to go to next? Tom McDonald. Okay, I'll look him up. Okay, I know what I'm going to do next. I know what we'll do.
JupiterJoe.com or call 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. Take advantage of his free phone consultation too. Go to JupiterJoe.com or call 561-743-0999.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. Hour number 2 has begun. If you missed that first hour, you missed a lot. That was, oh my goodness. I'm exhausted from that first hour. I'm also a little disgusted at some of the callers, Richie in particular. I was very shocked. Richie. Well, if you ever miss a portion of the show, you can always go to our radio station website, trueoldiesfla.com. Every day the show's uploaded as a podcast there. But if you want to comment on Marjorie Taylor Greene still, you're welcome. This story kind of is a continuation of it. If you're just tuning in, Marjorie Taylor Greene was assaulted by a male member of the House of Representatives, a Republican, McCormick, also of Georgia, grabbed her by the shoulders in an argument and shook her violently. Now, yesterday, this is a story that all these people that think it's okay to assault Marjorie Taylor Greene would be all over today. Did you see what happened in the House Education Committee with Elise Stefanik yesterday? You know, at these universities, they've been calling for the Holocaust Part 2, the extermination of Jews. I mean, this is insane to me. My whole life, we're told that the Holocaust was a bad thing. Now in the schools, they're telling them to bring it back. Genocide. It's ugly. I'm not exaggerating. So in this hearing yesterday, they had the leaders of MIT, Harvard, and Penn. And Stefanik asked them all about this calls for genocide against Jews. Let me play this for you. And you know, if it wasn't for this story of Marjorie Taylor Greene, all these Trump-hating Republicans that think it's okay to assault Marjorie Taylor Greene, they'd be all over this story. But they're going to lie low because they know they'll look like hypocrites. This is Stefanik with the head of these universities yesterday, MIT, Harvard, and Penn. Listen to these sickos.
Dr. Kornbluth, at MIT, does calling for the genocide of Jews violate MIT's code of conduct or rules regarding bullying and harassment? Yes.
Okay, now, that's an easy one. Yes! Calling for the extermination of Jews violates our student code of conduct. But that's not the answer.
Dr. Kornbluth, at MIT, does calling for the genocide of Jews violate MIT's code of conduct or rules regarding bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
If targeted at individuals, not making public statements.
Yes or no? Calling for the genocide of Jews does not constitute bullying and harassment?
I have not heard calling for the genocide for Jews on our campus.
Well, she's not watching the news then. Stefanik does great here. I'll play the whole thing. But you do that foot on the other test. Ask her about the extermination of blacks or Hispanics or illegal migrants. See what she has to say then, right?
Chants for intifada.
I've heard chants, which can be anti-Semitic depending on the context, when calling for the elimination of the Jewish people.
So those would not be according to the MIT's Code of Conduct or rules?
That would be investigated as harassment if pervasive and severe.
Ms. McGill, at Penn, does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Penn's rules or Code of Conduct? Yes or no?
If the speech turns into conduct, it can be harassment. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. So you've got Jews going to class, and you can yell intifada and all kinds of terrible things about genocide, and that's okay. If you're yelling at them, that's okay. As long as you don't try to do it? Really? So if there's transgender students walking down the halls of MIT and Penn, and you start calling them slurs, do you think that violates the Code of Conduct? Absolutely. It's only Jews that you're allowed to do this to. You know why? Because at the universities, they hate Jews. They're anti-Semitic. Jerks.
If the speech turns into conduct, it can be harassment. Yes.
I am asking, specifically calling for the genocide of Jews, does that constitute bullying or harassment?
If it is directed and severe or pervasive, it is harassment.
So the answer is yes.
It is a context-dependent decision, Congresswoman.
It's a context-dependent decision. That's your testimony today. Calling for the genocide of Jews is depending upon the context.
And put that in a context where it's cool. And what is wrong with these people? Is Penn where Leah Thompson was swimming? If you use the wrong pronoun for Leah Thompson, they expel you. But calling for the extermination of Jews, oh, that's okay.
That is not bullying or harassment. This is the easiest question to answer yes, Ms. McGill. So is your testimony that you will not answer yes?
If the speech becomes conduct, it can be harassment. Yes.
Conduct meaning committing the act of genocide? The speech is not harassment. This is unacceptable, Ms. McGill. I'm going to give you one more opportunity for the world to see your answer. Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Penn's Code of Conduct when it comes to bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
It can be harassment.
Okay. There's a difference between Holocaust denial, which is sick, of course, but there's a difference between Holocaust denial and calling for the genocide of Jews. One of them, you're calling for a violent act to take place. The other one, you're just denying something factual. And that's bad too, But this is insanity to me. So if someone was barking out violence about lynching to African American students at Penn, you think they'd be cool with that? Well, you didn't actually lynch. You're just calling for it. That's okay. Oh, my goodness.
The answer is yes. And Dr. Gay, at Harvard, does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Harvard's rules of bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
It can be, depending on the context.
What's the context?
Targeted as an individual. Targeted at an individual.
It's targeted at Jewish students, Jewish individuals. Do you understand your testimony is dehumanizing them? Do you understand that dehumanization is part of anti-Semitism? I will ask you one more time. Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Harvard's rules of bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
Anti-Semitic rhetoric.
And is it anti-Semitic rhetoric?
Anti-Semitic rhetoric, when it crosses into conduct that amounts to bullying, harassment, intimidation, that is actionable conduct, and we do take action.
So the answer is yes, that calling for the genocide of Jews violates Harvard Code of Conduct, correct?
Again, it depends on the context.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. What they've done, these heads of these universities, what they've done? They're like the Nazis. Like the Nazis. They've dehumanized Jews. If you're calling for the extermination of Jews, you're calling for the murder of Jews. So you're calling for murder, mass murder, in fact. But that's okay because it's Jews. What has happened here? Let me tell you. Keep your kids away from these schools. Not just these three. They'd be better off not going to college in most cases anyway. How many people do you know that have college degrees that are doing what their degree is in? Or have even done it? Hardly anyone I know with a college degree is in a profession that has anything to do with their degree. Very few people. Some people like doctors and stuff, but outside of like that, very few. What college has become in this country is indoctrination. Radical, leftist, Marxist indoctrination. And it looks like, the latest wave of it is they're being indoctrinated into the world of Islamic terror. And these women here, I watched the video of this testimony. They were not even embarrassed. They weren't even embarrassed. All right, let's take our first break of this hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Okay.
FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, here in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, anywhere in the world at True Oldies FM.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I was just listening to Steve's recorded message for Wings Plus on Sample Road in Coral Springs. A week from Sunday, the 17th, the 17th, Steve and I at 2 o'clock will be having lunch at Wings Plus on Sample Road, and you are all invited. And Sunday the 17th, a week from this Sunday, we'll be there for lunch, all right? And Wings Plus in Coral Springs on Sample Road is about a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road. This is the first appearance Steve and I have done outside of our cruise in over a year, okay? We don't do very many appearances, so come and meet us for a rare public appearance by Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig. All right, before I go further, I just want to, these college leaders that I just played that thinks calling for the death of Jews is okay. Yeah, well, not if you're a Jew. Going to class. Hearing that on the way to class, pretty bad. Anti-Semitism is not new to the Democrats. The Democrat Party, as a party, have always hated Jews. A very famous incident. It's kind of been wiped out from history, but because it's FDR. But before we were in the war, there was a ship, the St. Louis, that was filled with 900 or so Jews that were escaping Nazi Germany. They were coming to America so that they wouldn't be exterminated in the concentration camps. Franklin Roosevelt and the Democrats would not allow them to dock and leave the ship in the United States. They sent them back to Europe. And you know what? A lot of them were killed in the concentration camps because the Democrats said you cannot come to America for safety. Go back to Nazi-controlled Europe. That is look it up. It's disgusting. Anti-Semitism is one of the bedrock principles of the Democrat Party. I don't know why that is, but it is. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. How you doing? This is Ronnie Big W from Palm Beach.
What's up?
Well, first of all, let me say this here. It's pretty hilarious between you and Richie. I hear your points, and you do make a lot of sense. I do agree with you when it comes to putting hands on a woman. That's beyond the realm of control. And also, with that being said, I'm trying to understand why would he want to defend Talib if you are supposed to be with?
Well, because there's a break inside the Republicans in the House between the MAGA Republicans and Kevin McCarthy, and this guy's a McCarthy guy.
Okay, all right, I can go. I can see that, but so to me, he is considered really Democrat.
Mm-hmm. Now you're black, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, this thing I play, I can tell by your voice, by the way. I mean, it's not, I know Johnny Cochran thought it was racist. I'm sure I sound white. Yeah, it's okay. Okay. I know, I love it. But there's these college presidents who are saying calling for the death of all Jews on the planet is acceptable. Jewish kids walk into class and they've got kids yelling death to Jews. That's okay. Could you imagine if they were yelling and not acting on it, lynching all blacks? What do you think? You think these college?
Yeah.
You think these college leaders would be upset with that?
And they say that. Yeah, of course. But here's the thing: they, if the shoes were on the other foot for them, they would be screaming and pleading for somebody to come to their mercy. You understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
Never understand until you wear somebody else's shoes what it's all about. Now, just briefly, I happened to be listening to Netanyahu yesterday when he was talking about the horrific rapes and murders of these women. Now, if they were women over there in that situation, they would be praying for somebody to come to their rescue and to deliver them. But you can't see that as a woman. So I'm trying to understand, is the world that dumb and dismal to what is really going on?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, they targeted that music festival. That's how they got these terrorists to do it, telling them they could go there and have hot girls to rape. They did it to rape. They got, yeah.
Hey, and I say, then y'all stay the course, destroy them. Do not listen to Joe Biden and his regime. Do not listen to them. Do what you have to do in order to protect your people. That's the way it should be. Started it, so somebody has to end it.
Correct. Yep, that's right. All right, take care. Appreciate the call. All right, yeah. Finally, sense on the phones. Okay, Robert Kennedy Jr. is done. He was on with Jesse Waters last night. I saw this on social media. I'm not watching Fox, guys. I don't want you to think I've gone back to Fox, but I will see things happen online or in social media, and I'll pull the audio. Robert Kennedy Jr., he's not really much use to us if he's not dividing the Democrat vote, but he admitted that he flew more than once on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. And listen, this is Bobby Kennedy's done. I mean, this is one of those things. Listen.
I was on Jeffrey Epstein's jet 2 times. I was on it in 1993, and I was on it and I went to Florida with my wife and 2 children to visit my mom over Easter. My wife had some kind of relationship with Ghislaine Maxwell, and
he's got some nickname for Giselle Maxwell. This is his wife that he drove to suicide, by the way. And, you know, the thing about Robert Kennedy, in the 90s, a diary came out of his. He was having affairs with women all over the country, and he had a diary, keeping track of the women and a rating system for how good they were in bed. This was around the time he was flying on Jeffrey Epstein's plane, okay, with his family.
They offered us a ride to Palm Beach, so I went then, and on another occasion, I flew again with my family, with, I think, 4 of my children, and Mary, my wife, to Rapid City, South Dakota, to go fossil hunting for a weekend, but otherwise I was never on his jet alone. I've been very open about this from the beginning. This was in '93, so it was 30 years ago. It was before anybody knew about Jeffrey Epstein's, his nefarious issues, and I agree with you that all of this information should be released.
Okay, he's done. And I find it hard to believe he didn't know anything about Epstein and ladies. I'm not, if you go back to Bobby Kennedy's bizarre sex life during that period with his wife, those kind of guys travel in circles with guys that have bizarre sex lives. And when he was flying around the country, I'd like to know how he was flying around. Was he flying on commercial or private jets when he was womanizing in the 90s with a woman in every town, or women in every town, Bobby Kennedy? All right, now we're coming up on our bottom of the hour break. When we get back, I'm going to move into the town hall. President Trump had a great town hall last night hosted by Hannity. President Trump is always spectacular. And I got some clips of that I'll share, and we'll talk about the Trump town hall that took place last night. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. It's cold. There's a new spot. I think it's going to be in the next hour. With I took that guy that called in about Joe Thomas and made us a commercial out of it. I haven't seen it yet. I've been looking for it. I think it's next hour. It might say like Joe Thomas caller or something like that. Let's see. That's the top. That thing? Oh, there it is. Wait. No, go to the next one. Let me see. Jupiter Joe caller. There it is.
Bottom of the hour.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Forgot to hit record.
service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Sunday, December 10th, PBKC features South Florida's premier sports.
Yeah, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. You will love my content.
JSA autograph authentication, plus free admission and parking, prizes.
I promise you. Yeah, a fossil hunt. I know.
Catch all the exciting OTB racing and poker action and big games on our Super Sports TVs. PBKC tickets and dining certificates make great holiday gifts. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
Alexa, what's the longest running radio
I love
show
this
in the state
promo.
of Florida?
The Steve Kane Show, which has been on the air since 1977, is the longest-running radio show in Florida.
The Steve Kane Show, weekday mornings, right here on True Oldies.
'Tis the season for savings with Margaritaville at Sea. Now, for a limited time, Margaritaville at Sea is offering up to 60% off all cruises. Cruise certificates and their ultimate paradise pass for limitless trips to Grand Bahama in 2024. Get away to your holiday haven with Bahamas Cruises for just $79 per person. Or give the ultimate gift of the season, Bahamas Cruise certificates for two, and earn your way onto the nice list. Claim your perfect slice of paradise today at MargaritavilleAtSea.com.
Are you exhausted after work with no energy left in the tank to give your family? Are you having a midday crash on a daily basis? Women, are menopause symptoms like hot flashes, anxiety, and depression making your daily life feel far more difficult than it should? Men, do you feel like you're aging?
I tell you guys.
You should? Is your sexual life and relationship suffering because of disappointments in the bedroom? Then take action.
Now, my weekend live streams, because I'm going out of town, I'm going to live stream on the weekend, but the times will be maybe a little more random, in particular on Saturday. So make sure you got the notifications clicked, and you'll get a notification when I go live. And of course, order your Mighty Mega Lion, guys. This is the greatest Christmas gift. If you order during the show today, your lion will go out today. Okay? There's a link pinned right to the top of the chat, MightyMegaLion.com. If you order more than one, you get a discount. These make great Christmas gifts. And I got a huge bunch that are mailing this morning that we're mailing out. I'm going to the post office. And if you order during the show today, yours will go out today, too. You can go to the website directly, MightyMegaLion.com. There's a link in the description of the video. And if you're in the chat watching live, there's a link pinned to the top of the chat. Order yours. Remember, if you order more than one, you get a discount. Great Christmas gift.
Brian Craig here with a question for seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a healthcare advocate at the touch of a button? Would that make life easier for you? You can with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will help you set up doctor's appointments, help with your pharmacy, even deal with your pharmacist to make sure that you have prescriptions. They'll help you find a doctor, including a specialist. If you've been billed improperly by a doctor's office or a hospital, they can help you with that too. They'll even be your advocate when you're in the hospital.
Oh, yeah. Bobby Kennedy's a big climate nut, reparations nut. I mean, Trump can use him to be in charge of the declassification of all the Kennedy assassination files. I would let him do that. Yeah, D, it's just, those liberal postal workers, though, have no idea what's in the box. They're very friendly to me. I don't know if those postal workers would be so friendly if they knew they were Mighty Mega Lions that they were mailing. I did mistakenly go in. They're very liberal at the post office, the ones that work there. I went in with a Trump shirt on one day. I usually leave the MAGA hat in the car when I go in. They'll go postal. Can you imagine? One of them is the union steward for the local postal workers union. Yeah. If they knew they were mailing these Mighty MAGA Lions, could you imagine? Oh, my goodness. It's funny. I think about that every time I go in. If they only knew. All right, coming back.
Heard about them on the radio.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. You know that new promo we're running for the Steve Kane Show with Alexa? You know, I recorded that on my iPhone, I with my Alexa in the living room. And I did it all on my iPhone. I did add music to it because I have a tiled floor, so it was echo a little bit. I've added some music because it was, you know, echo with the tiled floor. It's pretty. I just went up to the phone, up to Alexa with the phone and record. Pretty good, huh? Those iPhones. All right, let's go to the phones before I bring up some new stuff. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Mike from Houston again. How are you?
Hey, Mike. What's up?
Hey, about the Marjorie Taylor Greene thing, I trust her, so if she says she was physically accosted and shaken violently, then I believe her. Now, as for the other party, Johnson McCormick, he should know better, okay? He's an adult, okay? And regardless of either party's gender or intentions, never lay hands on another person. You don't know if the other person might have a physical ailment or an infirmity, you know, like a disc or spine issue. Never touch another person. And secondly, he's a former Marine. He's supposed to be able to exercise physical restraint and self-discipline under stress. So my advice to Mr. McCormick would be to keep your hands to yourself.
Now, for people that are just tuning in, let me just recap because I want to ask you about this. It's being reported this morning in the Gateway Pundit, CNN, and elsewhere that Marjorie Taylor Greene was physically assaulted by a Republican male member of the House. They were arguing verbally over Tlaib. And he grabbed Marjorie Taylor Greene by the shoulders and shook her. And Richie the bus driver said, our majority in the House is only 3, so it's okay to assault women because the majority's so slim. I couldn't believe it.
That's a dangerous slope to start down. When you start rationalizing whether or not you will take action or discipline based on something like, well, we might lose a seat or two. We're supposed to be above this stuff. We're not Democrats now. We're supposed to.
That's right.
This kind of stuff. We're supposed to be focused on the high.
And all of us attack the Democrats when they've done that in the past for Bill Clinton and others. And now here it's okay because we'll only have a 2-seat majority. Are you kidding? How many women can he tune up before we say, okay, you're out? Give me a break.
That kind of leads me into something. I'm kind of getting, I could be wrong on this, and I hope I am. I'm kind of getting the feeling this is the standard behavior for him. And now, I could be wrong on this, okay? And I hope, again, I hope I am. But if this is regular behavior, then he's in line for more severe discipline than just corner time, you know, which...
Well, we don't know what his past is, okay? But I'll tell you this. Doing something that bold and violent, that's not something somebody just does one day.
I agree. That tends to be an open, in front of other people. I expect this was a closed door session.
Yeah.
Technically in public, but in front of other people. Yeah, no, that kind of worries me that might be characteristic. But again, I have no evidence to support that. I'm just flipping here. But what I was saying is, if this is in fact a one-off incident that he just, snapped, then I think, okay, maybe we can give him corner time. Maybe expulsion is a little too severe. Maybe we can censure him censure him, remove him from his committees, defund his pet projects, that kind of thing. But if this is repetitive, then he's in line for something.
Well, here's the thing, like I said, that I said by that. They're not going to, if they had the vote, they wouldn't expel him. Not one Democrat, see, it's like the Jews, okay? It's okay to commit violence against people they don't like. So all the Democrats would vote to keep him, and a whole bunch of these Kevin McCarthy Republicans would vote to keep him. So he would not be removed. But we need people to go on the record with their vote. Are they against or for violence against women? We need the people to be able to know.
I agree. And then the other thing I just want to touch on a related note is I can't quite get over Santos's expulsion. I get that the guy was kind of shady and that he lied to his constituents and maybe he was doing some kind of fraud on the side. Does this sound kind of familiar?
Please. Yeah, from Biden on down.
Right. And he gets kicked out of Congress. Meanwhile, Tlaib can advocate for the extermination of an entire religious ethnic group.
Mm-hmm.
She gets censure.
That's right.
Shameful.
That's right.
That's all I have to say.
All right. Good to hear from you. All right, thanks so much. Okay, now I saw this on Twitter. This was crazy. A reporter was on the southern border talking to illegals that have just jumped the border illegally into the United States. Listen to this. This is one of the illegals. He's just entered the United States.
I love you, Joe Biden. Thank you for everything, Joe Biden. I'm a good person. I want to be a good person here in the United States.
Wow. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. I mean, thank you, Joe Biden. I'm here now illegally. And I got free housing, free food, $2,000 a month, free education if I want it. Yay, thanks a lot, Joe Biden. Could you imagine if someone who was a criminal, because if you're here illegally, you're a criminal, was thanking Donald Trump, it'd be all over the place. All right, now last night, President Trump had a town hall on Fox, hosted by Sean Hannity, and it was very good. And I know most of you probably didn't watch it because, there's a Fox News boycott thing going on. But I want to play some clips from it. I thought it was really good. And I thought Hannity did a good job, just like he did bringing down Newsom last week. And the reason he was probably bringing down Newsom is because he had this town hall coming up with Trump, and that's fine with me. But Donald Trump said some things that I'm going to share. This clip here is news. This is breaking news. And it's about Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis. And I would like them very much to be called out on the carpet and have people in the media investigate. If Donald Trump says it, it's the truth. He doesn't lie to us. He's never lied to us. And when he says something, it's backed up by information that he has. Listen to this. This is Donald Trump last night in the town hall with Sean Hannity.
Joe Biden, I'm sure he mumbled the words as usual. He said this: if Trump wasn't running, I'm not sure I'd be running, he said at a campaign event today. How do you react to that?
Well, I think somebody gave him a talking point. They thought that would sound good. I just found out that Democrats are funding Nikki Haley's campaign. I hear that Democrats are contributing to Ron DeSantis's, or Ron DeSanctimonious, to Ron DeSantis's campaign.
Okay, now I'll play the rest of it, but are Democrats funding Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis' campaign? We need to know about this. And this doesn't mean just asking them. They'll deny it. There needs to be some investigation into the donors and find out if the Democrats are behind these two. I have no doubt it's true. Donald Trump said it's true. He's just found out. He was just informed. And he went on the town hall with Hannity on Fox last night and said it. So we know it's true because Donald Trump told us. But this needs to be fleshed out. This needs to be investigated.
Nikki Haley's campaign. I hear that Democrats are contributing to Ron DeSantis's, or Ron DeSanctimonious, to Ron DeSantis's campaign. They say, we want to run against Trump. They want to run. Well, we did really well in 2016, and we did so much better in 2020. The person they don't want to run against is us. It's us. It's not me. It's us. Because it's a movement, the likes of which this country, Sean, has never seen before. We have never seen the likes of what we've all done together. This is me, not me, it's everybody here, and millions. I think it's not 75 million people. I think it's 150 million people. It might be more than that. I mean, who doesn't want to see strong borders and a strong military and low taxes and low interest rates and go out and buy a house?
Yeah, I mean, wasn't he great last night? Trump was spectacular last night. But I'd like to get to the bottom. Ron DeSantis, he's done. He's out. He's washed up and done. But Nikki Haley, they're pushing her pretty hard. And it's not just that they're taking Democrat money. I want to know what kind of Democrat money. What Democrats? What organizations? What people? Who are these Democrats? Are they organizations? And what do they support? Does Nikki Haley know this? Is she aware of it? Probably. Does she care? Probably not. I don't know. But that's breaking news right there. Now, we're going to take our break here. And when we get back, there's more from the town hall. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Don't forget, free shipping on all items at mypillow.com with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, only until December 15th. This is a Christmas special. Mike Lindell is allowing us this. I called Mike's office. on Monday and asked, and they said yes. Mike personally said yes to this. Free shipping on all My Pillow items. And my wife and I are excited because we're buying a mattress for my daughter for Christmas. She wants a new bed, so we're getting her a mattress. We're getting her, of course, a My Pillow mattress. And I was very excited that we've got free shipping on that mattress now. But free shipping on everything, no matter what you order, with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, on all My Pillow products. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Again, it's free shipping only until December 15th. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Building Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry for 40 years. We are originally from Connecticut, where our values and work ethic is second to none. We install all kinds of roofs, from asphalt shingle, clay, and concrete tile.
I need a haircut because my hat's getting a little tight.
We work with homeowners.
That's how I know I need a haircut. The last haircut I got was not a good haircut. They cut it too short. So I've been trying to let it grow out.
Family is what we are, and roofing and restoration is what we do. We help guide our customers to a successful outcome by constantly informing them every step of the way. At Laporta Contracting, let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602 or visit us on our website at laportacontracting.com. That number again is 954-604-4602.
Have you been to Chowderheads in Jupiter yet? If you're looking for the best seafood in town, you have to try Chowderheads. You'll love their authentic New England seafood, flown in fresh from Boston. Their award-winning lobster rolls, clam chowder, and fried oysters are absolutely delicious. Come taste it for yourself. You will want to keep coming back for more at Chowderheads, located in the Driftwood Plaza on South US Highway 1 in Jupiter. Now open 7 days a week. For reservations or to go, call 561-203-2903 or check out their menu at chowderheadsusa.com.
Brian Craig here, telling you about our 5th annual listener cruise. And you're all invited, except Liberal Al. Liberal Al, you're not invited, but the rest of you are. We leave April 27th on board the Celebrity Beyond, the flagship of celebrity cruises. We're going to the ABC Islands, Curacao, Bonaire, and Aruba. We have shore excursions at every port, and I'll be on them all with you. We'll have dinner together every night, private cocktail parties, we'll go to Broadway shows together, and dance till the clubs close every night. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot and book your reservation at 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on.
All right. Yes. Welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. If you're suffering with pain, you don't have to. I want to say about my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton. And in particular, I want to talk about shoulder pain. And, shoulder pain's rough. A couple months back, I had a shoulder injury from my skateboard accident, and it was maybe the worst pain I've ever suffered in my life. The way I described it on the air I had pain on the front and the side of my shoulder. On the side of the shoulder, it felt like Tyson punched me when he was the champ, okay? I mean, it hurt that bad. In the front, the feeling, I don't know how I did the show that day. I don't remember the show. All I remember is the pain. It felt like I had a steak knife in my shoulder, deep in my shoulder, and somebody was cutting the muscles in my shoulder with a steak knife. It was that bad. I went over after the show to see Dr. Philip Appleton, and he treated my shoulder. I thought that I had tears. I had all kinds of problems. I was going to need surgery. And he gave me an exam, and he told me it wasn't torn and all of that because I had too much movement. It hurt, but I had movement. He says, you'd be on the floor if you needed surgery. So he treated me with a laser away pain treatment. By the time I left the office, I was already having relief. The next day, the pain was almost gone. The day after that, the pain was all gone, and it has not returned. If you have shoulder pain, go see Dr. Appleton. His laser away pain treatment, there's no surgery, completely painless, no downtime, no drugs, and it works. Also, something I don't know if I've mentioned this before, this is very painful too, bone-on-bone pain. Holy smokes. Any of you got bone-on-bone pain? Oh my goodness. That is living torture. Laser away pain treatment works with that too. Okay? Now remember, with Dr. Appleton, walk-ins are welcome. Appointments are never necessary, even on Saturdays. Give him a call, 954-973-0710. You can find him online at AppletonChiro.com. AppletonChiro.com. Again, the number 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Give him a call and say bye-bye to your pain. Okay, back to the town hall with President Trump. He was so good last night, President Trump. And I must say, Hannity did a good job. Hannity did a great job. Well, just let me play the clip and it explains itself. I got 2 or 3 more I want to share before the top.
You think in 11 months he will be their candidate?
I personally don't think he makes it. Okay, I haven't said that. I'm saving it for this big town hall. I personally don't think I think he's in bad shape physically. Do you remember when he said, I'd like to take him behind the barn? If he took me behind the barn and I went like this, I believe he'd fall over.
Wow. I mean, this is, when I tell you guys sometimes, Donald Trump is not a mortal man. Everything he's going through, if you had one trial and you'd had a mugshot, would you be able to function? Probably not. I wouldn't. He's got like 5 or 6 things going on. The campaign, everything they're putting him through, breaking into his house, violating his wife, and listen to him there. Sounds great, doesn't it? That's why I tell people, I don't worry. When Trump's worried, then I'll worry. He's the one facing 1,000 years in prison with these snakes, and he's on top of the world. Here he is talking more about Biden.
We have somebody that was never at the top of his game. 25 years ago, he wasn't one of the light bulbs. He wasn't one of the bright ones. And I tell the story. So Ted Kennedy, believe it or not, was a friend of mine because of Palm Beach. They lived in Palm Beach at what's called the Kennedy compound. And I did him a big favor one time, and somehow he liked me, I liked him, even though we were opposite in many ways, politically certainly. And I said to him, who's the smartest guy in the Senate? And he gave me a name. I don't want to tell you because I really don't like the guy at all. Still around. I said, who's the dumbest? He said, probably Joe. I said, who's Joe? Joe Biden. It's the first time. I said, and that was it. And now I see when he's not in prime time for himself. I mean, years later, he failed on being president when he was like normal. Something is going wrong, and we can't afford it because we have a problem today. Nuclear weapons is the single biggest problem the world has. And we have people, it used to be 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, even 3 years ago, nobody would have thought about nuclear. You couldn't mention the word. Now it's being mentioned at every meeting. Every time you talk, it's being mentioned. The level of power of the nuclear weapons is incredible. Like, take Hiroshima or take Nagasaki, and you look, and that was many, many decades ago, and multiply that times 500. That's what a big bomb would be today, whether it's Israel or major countries. Nuclear weapons are the biggest problem we have, and we have a man that can't put 2 sentences together. We have a man that doesn't know he's alive. And he's backed up by the media. The biggest problem we have, the media. The media is fake. I came up with the term a long time ago.
Okay, now, when he talks about Biden's mental state, he's in contact with people that are in Biden's orbit. And there's a couple of major crises that are about to come up, okay? One of them, this attack on the U.S. naval vessel the other day. A lot of people are calling this a Tonkin Gulf incident. Are they trying to escalate? Hamas attacked. The Muslims attacked. Thought they were Israeli ships. Really? Give me a break. And what has the response been to an attack on a U.S. vessel? 0. Oh, okay, you made a mistake attacking our ship. Okay. So when you let these terrorists get away with what they've been getting away with, they're going to escalate. That's what terrorists do. So there's going to be a major escalation there, okay? But there's a lot of talk coming out of Ukraine that Zelensky may be deposed by one of his generals. Zelensky, and this is being reported in mainstream sources and not so mainstream sources. It's being very widely reported that Zelensky's approval rating in Ukraine is very, very low. And one of his generals, I don't know the general's name offhand, I can't remember, but one of his generals is very, very popular and is challenging Zelensky. And if Zelensky is deposed and overthrown, what would that do? If there's a military coup in Ukraine, which is, it looks like there very well may be, what kind of crisis would that be? What would our position be? How would we respond? You know, if we're over there fighting for democracy, fighting for freedom and all that, how can you do that when the new leader is a general who's declared himself president who overthrew the duly elected civilian leader? It's a major crisis, and one that's a very difficult one. And you have a senile old coot and a bunch of incompetence around him like we have, that could spiral into a major, major war. Right now, Ukraine and Russia are pretty much at a stalemate. There's not a lot of action going on here and there. But if something like that happened, who knows how big it could get and how dangerous it could get. And the people we have running things are not capable of getting anything under control. So that's pretty dangerous. Okay, here's another clip. This one, Donald Trump, I tell you, President Trump, he's always looking to troll the media. So they've had this new narrative lately. I've talked about it a couple times, that his second term he'll be a dictator. So Hannity asked him about this and said, yeah, Trump said, yeah, he'll be a dictator. Listen, this is how he trolls the media. Listen.
You're promising America tonight you would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one.
Yeah. Except
Look,
for...
he's going crazy. Except for day one.
Meaning?
I want to close the border, and I want to drill.
Okay. So he says he's going to be a dictator, but only on day one, and that means he's going to give a lot of orders and get a lot of things done, starting with closing the border. And believe me, the left will take... See, he is going to be a dictator. He is going to be a dictator. The reason that there's this narrative going around in the New York Times crowd and Washington Post crowd, the Washington crowd, that he's going to be a dictator is because they view that if they don't win, democracy has failed. That if they don't win, we've got a dictator. They just totally ignore the fact that over 100 million Americans support Donald Trump. That doesn't matter because they're not in power. So if they're not in power, democracy has failed. And you know, this thing about Liz Cheney talking about a presidential run, you know what that's about? She's a pathetic person. She needs an excuse to stay on the television. Okay? She's out of Congress. She's got a book out. That'll fizzle out soon. But if she's a presidential candidate, it'll be an excuse for all the mainstream media to have her on the different channels all the time trashing Trump, because that's her thing. And that's her whole identity. And she wants to spend the next year and a half trashing Donald Trump, and the next 4 years after that when he's president again. And if she's a presidential candidate now, she'll have an excuse for all next year to be on television attacking him. Now, after the top of the hour, we'll get back to the phones. Steve will be joining us. I am going to recap the Marjorie Taylor Greene story because I think that's the big story of the day. I talked about it a lot in the first hour. I want to recap it. Marjorie Taylor Greene was physically assaulted by a man who's a Republican member of Congress, and Richie the bus driver says it's okay because we only have a 3-seat majority in the House. It's okay to beat up women. So I want to recap that story because it's a big story. And they're trying to excuse it just like they're trying to excuse all the attacks on the Israeli women because they don't like the Israeli women, the media, the Democrats, and they don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene. And it's pretty brutal. It really is, and it's disgusting. But we'll go through the details of that. Steve will be joining us. We'll also get back to the calls at 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. Of course, a toll-free call no matter where you're listening to us, 888-465-2631. Now remember, a week from this Sunday the 17th of December, 11 days from now, right? Is that 11 days? Yes. On December 17th, Sunday at 2 p.m., Steve and I will be at Wings Plus in Coral Springs. We're going to have lunch there, and you are all invited. All right? And, of course, you know, Wings Plus have TVs everywhere, so all the games will be on, those of you that are into that. I'm into wings, so I'm going for the wings. And Steve got me on those lemon pepper wings, which are so delicious. And so I ordered 2 baskets of wings. I get 1 basket of lemon pepper, 1 basket of medium hot wings, and a basket of fries. Okay, and I don't share them with anyone. They're all mine. Okay, and I'm looking forward to that. In fact, as I'm talking about it now, I just got hungry. Anytime I talk about Wings Plus, I get hungry. And remember, at Wings Plus, everything is homemade. Nothing comes out of a can. That includes the sauces for the wings, all homemade. You know, and if you want to move on to some other things other than the wings, try the clam chowder. The clam chowder, that's also homemade. Clam chowder, homemade right there at Wings Plus on Sample Road in Coral Springs. I like the chili a lot, too. The chili is great. It's filled with meat. You know, a lot of these places you go to and have their chili, and it's like all beans. No, it's overloaded with meat. There's beans in it, but it's good, and it's delicious, and you will love it. The hamburgers are huge and delicious. They have great boar's head roast beef sandwiches that are overstuffed sandwiches. You'll love it. So Steve and I will be there for lunch December 17th, a week from Sunday at 2 p.m. Wings Plus in Coral Springs is located on Sample Road, about a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road. And you'll see us there, okay? And all of you are invited. This is our first appearance in over a year, all right? We don't do them very often, so this is your chance. And it'll be well worth the trip no matter how far away you're driving. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Back after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Rome Studio. Injured recently? Call the Rome Law Group. Where 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Rome's winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
Okay.
Here's the oldies forecast.
Good day, everybody. We're going to see daytime highs today in the low 70s, partly cloudy skies after a brisk start this morning in the 50s. We'll get down into the 50s again tonight and do it again tomorrow. I'm WPBF 25 first warning meteorologist Sandra Shaw. Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 170 Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Forest Boulevard at Davis Road, a multi-vehicle crash there. Same for Greenview Shores Boulevard at Wellington Trace. Another disabled vehicle blocking on rear right shoulder along the I-95 south on ramp from Queens Road. Also on the I-95 south on ramp from Gateway Boulevard, a multi-vehicle crash at the on ramp Parson Block. We're still dealing with a crash along Okeechobee Boulevard at Crestwood Boulevard. And an accident off the right shoulder along I-95 at the south ramp from 45th Street. This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Halloween is over, but hiring is still scary. Indeed's end-to-end solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit. That's traffic from Chris Ball.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Sunday, December 10th, PBKC features South Florida's premier sports card and memorabilia show with amazing vendors and JSA autograph authentication. Plus, free admission and parking, prizes, and great food and drink options. Plus, catch all the exciting OTV racing and poker action and big games on our Super Sports TV On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, the third hour has begun. I'm Brian. Steve joining us. Hey, Steve. Oh, man, craziness happening on the show today. Something dark happened early on the program, and then I made a big mistake before the top of the hour. So I'll tell you, the mistake was I am starving now because I was talking about our appearance on the 17th at Wings Plus, and my mouth is watering, and all I'm thinking about are the wings right now, and I'm starving. So it's going to be hard for me to focus over the next 54 minutes because I'm starving. A week from Sunday at 2 p.m. All I care about is the kickoff of the basket of wings. I'm going to get 2 baskets, 1 medium hot, 1 lemon pepper, a basket of fries, and since it's Sunday, I won't be drinking beer. I'll have a soda because, I don't want to be hungover Monday morning on the show, but I am starving. So that was a mistake. I should have waited to do that spot until the end of the show, but regardless. But I was a little disturbed this morning by a couple of our callers, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on it, okay? And you maybe you agree with the callers. I don't know. But Marjorie Taylor Greene was assaulted by a man. Yeah, we don't know yet. We don't know. There was and let me recap what happened, and then I'll tell you the disturbing thing that happened on this program in the first hour, in my opinion. And I want to take your calls on this too, and I know Steve does after we get his view on it at 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. So for those that are just tuning in, this is what happened. There's a Republican congressman also from Georgia named McCormick. He was in a private meeting. Marjorie Taylor Greene was there. He was there. This is when Marjorie Taylor Greene was pushing that censure vote on Tlaib. He was opposing her on it. This was in private. They had a verbal argument. Now keep in mind, this guy is not just a man and a Republican. He's a Marine. And he grabbed her by the shoulders and violently shook her. Then she reported him to the speaker, Mike Johnson. We don't know where that's coming from yet. It was a private closed-door meeting. We don't know if there were cameras in the room or not. We don't know who else was in the room with them. I doubt they were alone. But this is... And Richie, this was the disturbing part. Richie, the bus driver, called up and said, well, we only have a 3-seat majority, so it's okay for him to lay hands and assault Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think the guy should be expelled. We should have the expulsion vote today.
Retaining the majority vote, it's very tight. So he's talking pragmatically. We can't afford to lose him.
So how many other women can he rough up?
Is that what you're all upset about?
Well, I think when someone says, well, we only have a 3-seat majority, we'll only have a 2-seat majority if he's gone, so it's okay for him to assault women. How many women can he assault and it be okay? And first of all, Steve, we wouldn't lose the seat because the Republican establishment, they hate Marjorie Taylor Greene. The Democrats hate Marjorie Taylor Greene. They would not get enough votes to expel him. He would still have his seat. I promise you. Okay? It's just like the Democrats won't condemn rape and murder of Israeli women because they hate Jews. They would not vote to censure or remove from the Congress a guy who tunes up Marjorie Taylor Greene because they hate Marjorie Taylor Greene. All right? but we should have the vote so we can have on record who thinks it's okay to commit violence against women and who thinks it's wrong. And I find it disturbing that because we only have a 3-seat majority, it's okay to assault women. I'm sorry. That's what Democrats do, Steve, not Republicans. I mean, so what's your thoughts on it? You think we should let him get away with it?
Well, if you're right the way you presented it in saying that we still would maintain the majority, but I think that's something you got to bear in the back of your mind. I mean, that's no small matter.
Even if they expelled him, we'd still have a 2-seat majority. We have a 3-seat majority now because they got rid of Santos last week. And everything Santos was accused of, I didn't hear anything about violence. You know, so why is he gone and this guy's allowed to lay hands on Marjorie Taylor Greene? He should be arrested. You know, that's assault. It's a felony. She's a federal office holder, and just because you're a federal office holder doesn't mean that you can assault women and get away with it.
It's hard with that. It's easier to make that judgment if you've seen the footage or something.
I don't need to see it. I've got the word of Marjorie Taylor Greene, and that's all I need. This is from CNN. In a private meeting with House Speaker Mike Johnson last week, Marjorie Taylor Greene accused fellow Georgia Republican Rep. Richard McCormick of getting physically aggressive with her. According to multiple sources, a charge that McCormick has denied. He said it was a friendly gesture, grabbing her by the shoulders and violently shaking her. That's friendly. I guess that's how they do it in Georgia, right? Marjorie Taylor Greene claims that McCormick grabbed her by the shoulders and shook her following a public spat they had over competing resolutions to censure Tlaib. This is according to multiple sources. Marjorie Taylor Greene has asked the speaker to address the issue. McCormick voted against the censure of Tlaib. First off, why is this guy supporting Tlaib? Tlaib believes Jews should be exterminated. Right?
No excuses.
So what kind of Republican is this that he's defending Tlaib? Well, we'll open up to the phones. I was shocked that Richie says, oh, no. We only have a 3-seat majority. It's okay. Let him do it. And you don't seem too upset about it either. There's not going to be video of everything. When people go out and do crime, if they can help it, they don't do it when they're being recorded. And this was a private meeting, so the chances are there's no recording if it was in an office. If it was in a hallway, there's a video recording. But if it was in a private office in the house, there's not going to be a video.
More strangely enough, is the Kennedy thing.
What about it?
I mean, evidently he was a wild man.
He was a perv. Yeah, he drove his wife to suicide. Yeah, there was a big story in the 90s in the New York Post, front page story in the New York Post about it. I remember covering it on the show. Well, that he had women in every city around the country, and he had this diary that his wife found where he had all the women listed and had them rated based on the type of sex they were into and how good they were at different acts. And his wife found it, the one that later committed suicide. Yeah, I mean, he was a real creep. And plus, he's flying around on Epstein's jet. All right, let's take some calls. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1.
His denial rings hollow.
Yeah. I think he knew all about Epstein. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning.
Ian Broward. Hey, Uncle Steve, how are you?
Hey, Abby.
You finally hit the nail on the head, Brian. What would push him to put his hands on Marjorie Taylor? What is going on inside of his person, his body? He obviously is not more than a rhino, or we like to say rats, Republicans, Trump.
Yep.
But he is not a true Republican, and he's an anti-Semitic person.
Well, I'll tell you this. This is another thing that I keep in mind. During the Clinton business, the Democrats, women are saying, I was beaten up by Bill Clinton, right? I was raped by Bill Clinton. And the Democrats said, well, he's our president. That's got nothing to do with his job as president. We need him there. And Republicans said, no, No, he's been accused of rape, and he's been beating up women. Paula Jones with the bloody lip, put some ice on it and all that. So now they're sounding like Democrats, these Republicans. Well, we only have a 3-seat majority, so how many women can he assault is the question.
Richie, it's about principle, Richie, okay? You cannot decide when you're going to be a person of principle and when you're not.
That's right.
He might be on the R side, the Republican, but principally he cannot do what he does, and he has to go. Even though he's not.
Just to take this from a different angle for a minute. You watched the town hall last night? You watched Trump? Oh,
I didn't get it until late.
Well, that's too bad, because I was really going to ask you. I find it hard to believe that any thinking person at this point would still be against Trump, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, Uncle Steve, here's the bottom line. Here's the bottom line. 2 years ago, you said it's going to get really, really hard and rougher and tougher before the election, and then a year ago, I said we already made up our minds who we're going to vote for. It's going to be Biden or Trump, and the people already made up their mind. This is a year ago, and everything in the middle is noise. They have to put on the show, the presidential elections, and they have to put that show on.
Based on what I saw last night, this is just me and my impression, this thing is over. I mean, this is not just another race that can be compared to other races of the past. It's not. This is over. There's no way. None of these other guys, these pretenders, are going to make a dent. That's what's become obvious to me.
The bottom line is that the Democrats have opened up the Pandora's box, that they put us in uncharted territory, not knowing where they're sailing, and Trump is going to close that Pandora's box, because every chaotic thing that's ever happened in history came from the Democratic Party, and everything that's
all right, listen, we're up. We're late for the break, but good to hear from you. If you're on hold, stand by. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show.
What are we doing?
With Brian Craig.
I thought today was Thursday, not Wednesday.
Yeah, I thought so too, but I thought maybe he called to change it or something. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. I was waiting for him to call the break. Okay. Okay. No problem.
And you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit Any Lab Test Now of Boca at Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. There's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca at Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Hey, are you already dreaming of your next vacation getaway? Well, the True Oldies channel wants to send you cruising on Margaritaville at Sea. It's a 3-day, 2-night cruise to the Bahamas with delicious island-inspired cuisine, plus amazing live entertainment, spectacular ocean breezes, and more. Just go to TrueOldiesFLA.com and register for your chance to win this wonderful cruise. And here's more great news. It's the season for savings with Margaritaville at Sea. For a limited time, Margaritaville at Sea is offering up to 60% off all cruises, cruise certificates, and their Ultimate Paradise Pass for limitless trips to Grand Bahama in 2024. Get away to your holiday haven with Bahamas Cruises for just $79 per person. Or give the ultimate gift of the season with Bahamas Cruise certificates for 2 and earn your way onto the nice list. Claim your perfect slice of paradise today at MargaritavilleAtSea.com.
If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. Tom Laporta will give you a free evaluation. Laporta Contracting was voted one of the best general contractor and best roofers in South Florida. He's honest, knowledgeable, and reliable and will never sell you a roof you don't need. If you have an insurance claim, call your insurance company immediately. Then call Tom Laporta. New laws are in effect that allow Tom to negotiate directly with your insurance company on the cost of all repairs, so you don't necessarily need to employ a public adjuster or a lawyer. Tom can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now. 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
The Medicare annual enrollment period is now through December 7th. Now is your chance to get a Florida Blue Medicare plan. Don't go at it alone. Trust the people at Compass Health, your local agency for Florida Blue, to assist in picking the perfect plan for you. Compass Health has HMOs, PPOs, Medicare supplement plans. Do you need dental work? Want $0 copays for medication or even transportation to the doctor? Compass Health can help. Call them toll free, 877-870-8391. That's 877-870-8391. You can also go online at compasshealthinsurance.com. Take advantage of the enrollment period, now through December 7th, and choose Compass Health.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did, until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM.
All right, callers stand by. Assume I'm doing a spot out of every break, Steve. Just okay. So we go through this every. Yes. Okay. We're just filler between the spots, guys, okay? But if you're on hold, stand by. We'll get to the phones in just a moment. But I was listening to your recorded commercial, Steve, for Lighthouse Medical and how they rid you of all those neuropathy symptoms. And their neuropathy treatment is really, it's the only treatment around that will rid you of your neuropathy symptoms. But they also do other things. And they at Lighthouse Medical, they have an incredible treatment for hair restoration for both men and women. It's non-surgical, non-invasive. It's painless. I've seen them perform the treatment on a female patient. And this time of year, you see people that you only see once a year or every few years. And there's a lot of people that are follically challenged. And women have a really hard time because what a lot of men do is they decide to go to the Mr. Clean look and shave their heads. And I got news for you guys. Everybody knows you're bald. It's not a cool look. And for those of us who are white, when we shave our heads, we look like aliens, right? I mean, it's just the white scalp is just not meant to be naked. And women go to extreme measures because they're not candidates for hair transplant surgery, including some women even get their scalps tattooed to try to cover up their scalps. Go to Lighthouse Medical. Their hair restoration treatment works. It's a no-charge consultation. If you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. You can find them online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com. lighthousemedicalcenter.com or call 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. What'd you have before the call, Steve?
I just want to reframe the question a little bit because something happened. Something clicked within my head last night. And I came out of that town hall feeling in one major way different than before I'd gone in. No one's catching this guy. I mean, I always just allowed for the fact that somewhere down the road there's going to be like the prime example was Biden last time around, where
Yeah. No. You just realized this last night?
they didn't realize realize how 100%.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Unseen support that he has, it's not that no one's going to be able to touch him, and they're not going to be able to take the presidency away after he's won it.
Mm-hmm.
No judge and no Supreme Court is going to come in with the kind of victory he's going to have.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be just overwhelming. No judicial appointment is going to overturn that.
He may have the largest victory in history. All right, well let's go to the phones. If you're on hold, we'll try our best to get them in the order in which they were received. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Patrick calling from Broward.
Hey, Patrick.
Right.
I wanted to get Steve's take on the Lee Stefanik during those university presidents. All three in a row, over and over and over again, would refuse to commit to punishing open calls for genocide on their campus.
It was just, it spoke for itself. I mean, it was
breathtakingly...
And by the way, this isn't some generic hypothetical. What's happening is Jews, or those who are suspected to be Jews, which is pretty much any white person at these liberal universities, they're going to class and they have other students yelling "Death to the Jews," barking at them as they're going to class. And every one of those university presidents said, as long as they don't actually exterminate someone, it's okay. Now, if it were white students yelling to the black students, "Lynch the blacks," do you think those professors, those presidents of the universities would have the same position, caller?
Well, you raised an excellent point. Like, if you go to UPenn and you call Leah Thomas, he or him,
you're expelled. Well, Stefanik didn't. Well, hold on. In their defense, Elise Stefanik did not ask if they misgendered Jews. Would they put up with that?
It's just unreal. And what happened to colleges being safe spaces?
Well, what happened to the damn ADL? Where are the rabbis of America and the ADL? They should be freaking out. And I'll tell you what. Everyone who has a child in these universities that's not Jewish and non-Jewish, get them out. There needs to be, and anyone who funds a scholarship or any program for these universities, cut off the money today.
It's just like, and they kept saying over and over, depending on the context, what context is calling for the genocide against Jews okay?
It's insane.
It is insane. I'm still in shock an hour after you brought that up.
It's hard. When I first saw that yesterday, I was like in awe. I'm not hearing what I'm hearing. It depends on what context you talk about exterminating Jews. I mean, come on. All right. Thank you for the call, Patrick. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, it's Terry from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I was just, man, I hate to say this thing and people worship with the Jewish people, but until they encircle Jews, all the Jews, all around, and try to destroy, they're going to try to get rid of all the Jews on the planet.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And it's not, it's evil, it's wicked, you know what I mean, that they should do something like that, you know what I mean? So, but I heard you say something also about, Trump. And you know what? Trump is a dictator. And that's what he's going to be, a dictator.
Now, listen. Maybe you can help me with this. I went to school in Broward County, so I got a very poor education, okay? Could you tell me the definition of a dictator and how that definition applies to Donald Trump? Because I don't understand it.
A dictator? Who was a dictator?
No, I didn't ask you examples of dictator. I asked you to define what a dictator is. I don't want to hear names. Define dictator, and then share with me what parts of that definition Donald Trump fits into.
A dictator is one that rules with iron fist. Okay?
No.
I don't care who you are.
You're talking about are you talking, for example, like Nancy Pelosi? And
Yeah.
No, I'm talking like Hitler. I'm talking about Hitler. I'm talking about Putin.
No, those aren't definitions. Those are names. Okay? But you don't know what a dictator is. So if you don't know the definition of dictator, how do you know Trump is one? And how do you even know that's a bad thing? Maybe it's a good thing since you don't know the definition.
Are you kidding? Oh, so you saying Hitler's a good thing? You saying Putin?
No, I'm saying that you don't know what you're talking about. You're using words that you don't understand.
I know what I'm talking about. So you telling me Hitler was not a dictator?
No.
You're telling me Putin is not a dictator? That's what you're telling me, right?
What he's telling you is that he believes you think that Putin is okay, and you think these people.
No, I didn't say Putin was okay. I said he's a dictator. A dictator.
But if you don't know what the definition of dictator is, how do you know Putin's one too?
Listen, I know what I'm talking about.
I know because CNN told you. All right, lucky for you, we're late for our break at the bottom of the hour because we went long in that previous segment. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good day, everybody. We're going to see daytime highs today in the low 70s, partly cloudy skies after a brisk start this morning in the 50s. We'll get down to the 50s again tonight and do it again tomorrow. A WPBF 25 first warning meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
95 northbound at Forest Hill Boulevard. The left lane is blocked by a multi-vehicle crash. Stop and go traffic is moving back to Lantana Road. You have a multi-vehicle crash lane ring on 10th Avenue North at Davis Road. Forest Hill Boulevard at Davis Road. Also on Hyperlux over to Jog, a new crash there. And a crash now clear at Greenview Shores Boulevard at Wellington Trace. This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? How about the perfect holiday gifts, just $25 under, like PJs, fragrance sets, toys, and more. Find the latest trends, new arrivals, and great prices at a Macy's Backstage store near you. Let's drop it this bar.
Oh.
West Palm Beach. Hey, Mike. Let me say something. I went to Jupiter Joe's. He spent an hour and 20 minutes with me in front of his desk going over all of my assets and advising me. And I'll tell you, that man is very thorough, and he really knows what he's talking about. He has given me some really great advice that I hadn't considered prior to that meeting, and I think that's going to help my life out very, very much.
Call Joe Thomas for your free phone consultation and a free copy of his book, The Retirement Know-It-All. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. Online, JupiterJoe.com. Brian Craig here. I've been telling you about how my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton, has rid me of pain from a knee injury and arthritis pain with his laser away pain treatment. But don't just take my word for it. This is one of our callers who called me live on the radio to tell me how chiropractic physician Dr. Philip Appleton helped him with his laser away pain treatment.
You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Sean, calling from Boca Raton. I want to thank you guys once again. I've listened to this show since the mid-'80s. Thank you for introducing me to Dr. Appleton, Brian and Steve. I went in there last week. I had a knee problem. One session, I feel so much better. I brought my mother there yesterday. She has a problem with her right side or her arm. She's right-handed. She feels better. It's amazing. And for people out there that are dealing with pain, believe me, there is an alternative. Go in there for the free consultation. FREE free. You will lose. The only thing you'll lose is the pain that you're dealing with. Do not suffer. Go in to see Dr. Appleton, the greatest visit of your life.
Give Dr. Appleton a call right now. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com. Open Monday through Saturday. Appointments not necessary. And walk-ins are welcome. 954-973-0710. Brian Craig here with a question for seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a healthcare advocate at the touch of a button? Would that make life easier for you? You can with iWill Advocates will help you set up doctor's appointments, help with your pharmacy, even deal with your pharmacist to make sure that you have your prescriptions. They'll help you find a doctor, including a specialist. If you've been billed improperly by a doctor's office or a hospital, they can help you with that too. They'll even be your advocate when you're in the hospital to make sure you get the care you need and the care you deserve. And that's just the beginning of what they do. iWill Advocates takes care of all Steve Kane healthcare issues too, and they can do the same for you. iWill Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Call Debbie at iWill Advocates right now. Toll free 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326.
Grammy Award nominee Clint Holmes, the consummate entertainer and one of the country's finest vocalists, takes the famous stage celebrating the 70th anniversary. Join him to between the moon and New York City, the sounds of here. Experience this one-of-a-kind performance only at the Practice Center. Ticket information available at Practice Snowboard.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and my husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day. Buy one get one free, and they're our first My Pillows, and we love them. We absolutely love them. They're just absolutely amazing.
To the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve is here. Callers on hold. Stand by. The phones are on fire. I must say, Hannity did a good job in that town hall last night. Did a good job.
Can I point out something? When you remember when I think I got my facts straight here. When Biden took over, he passed a whole bunch of executive orders. You remember that?
Yeah.
Was it him or was it?
They all do, but he did. Yeah, Biden did. Yeah.
And that's what Trump is talking about doing, only with two orders. He said he's going to do two things: drill, baby, drill, which will bring the oil prices back down and set the economy straight. And what was the other one he said he was going to?
Secure the border.
Secure the border. No one is going to be against that. Nobody can run against that and win.
There's one Biden order, though, that he's going to rescind even before those. The first order that Joe Biden signed, you know what his first executive order was?
What?
Requiring all American women to submit to hair sniffing on Biden's demand. And that's got to be the first one that he overturns. I'm serious. Didn't get a lot of publicity, but it was there. All right, yeah. I mean, who's against that, right? Exactly. You know who's against that, Steve? China, who owns the Democrats.
If you had to cut to the chase and pick the one or two things that were the most important things that we accomplished, those are the two biggest things on day one. And that's what he said. I'm going to bring back the oil and what was it?
Secure the border. And I would like to see Trump at his second inauguration just skip the speech and the parties and the parade and just get sworn in, sit down right there on the Capitol steps and start signing these executive orders immediately. All right, our number... Oh, I could see that happening, and you heard it here first, guys. 1-888-GO-CANE-1 is the number, and I'm trying to take these in the order in which they were received. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Brian from Deerfield?
Yeah, Brian.
Hey, Brian. The Marjorie Taylor Greene thing, she's more aware than anybody the numbers that we have in the House there. And even losing Santos last week, it tells me that something really significant took place here. Maybe some of it hasn't all come out yet either. But you know, we have a moral thing here, we have a political thing. You got to decide what's more important. I think in this one, got to go with the moral one. You know,
we'd still have the majority, even if he was expelled. But they're not going to expel him. If they had the vote, we wouldn't have enough votes, because every Democrat would vote that it's okay to attack women as long as their name is Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Jews.
Well, if they're going to vote for genocide, they'll vote for attacking women. That's no problem for them. The town hall last night was, I thought, sensational. It's a very clear dichotomy between the present guy we have in the White House and the guy we want in there. And I think the country begins to, once we have a lock and we know Trump's going in, I think the economy already starts to turn in just preparation for his next 4-year term. And what he wants to do on day one is act great.
Don't you believe we've reached that point?
Well, I think we have, Steve, but I just don't want to take anything for granted. I want everybody to be enthusiastic going to the polls and not assume that we've got this.
Well, here's what they're holding on hopes for, and this is possible. Next month is the Iowa caucus, and if the number 2 and 3 person, we know number 1 is going to be Trump, but if Haley and DeSantis come in 2nd and 3rd, and there's any significance if they're significantly closer than they are in the polls, they're going to say, "Oh, Nikki Haley and DeSantis won." You never know, Steve. He may win by 20 points instead of 40, and they'll say, "Oh, look, Nikki Haley's gaining on Trump."
Yeah. Well,
that's the spin.
Yeah, I don't want to let anything for chance.
I agree.
We got to lock this thing down and just keep the pressure on until we get Trump in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
This is, like I said, this is winner take all. But the town hall last night I thought was sensational.
Oh yeah, that was good.
There, and anybody who watched it at home, it's a clear-cut choice. If they got any sense at all, it is great.
All right.
He sounded great, and the policies are great.
All right, take care, Brian. Yep. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jersey Mike from West Palm Beach.
Hey, Mike.
How you guys doing today? I love your show because I do a lot of laughing when I listen to Brian there. He's got a really witty mind. I'm telling you, I really admire his ability to handle people. Let me say this about Trump, okay? You know, gasoline used to cost $1.50 to $1.70. Look at what the price is these days. And it was up as high as $4.
Mm-hmm.
That's way over 10 to 20% inflation that the Democrats will tell you. They think we're idiots. It's more like look at the price of food in a supermarket. You got struggling today because they can't afford to take care of their kids and buy them clothing, and then they got to buy food, and it's really a rough time. I see children sleeping in their car at night. I'm over here. The apartment's in the back of my house here.
Oh my!
They can't afford $2,400 a month rent for a single bedroom apartment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, rents are through the roof.
Let me say one other thing. I've traveled extensively through the El Paso and the borderline towns in Mexico, and 3 million of these people crossed over the border. Biden could have certainly finished that wall and prevented that from happening. Now, those people come across are not Mexicans. They are Mexicans, but there are also other people. I heard there's Chinese.
Well, okay. Now, there's something big has happened with China. Now, yesterday. By the way, thanks for the call. Great points. I say because we're up. If you're on hold, hang in there. Okay. Yesterday, Steve, we had a story that they caught a bunch of a huge group of Chinese men, military-age men at the border, nicely dressed with expensive luggage. A reporter in Colombia has found a hotel that is housing regularly Chinese people that are on their way to America. There's a mass movement of Chinese military people through Latin America into the United States illegally. China is setting up something here. They're moving an army here. They're moving a spy operation here. But there's a mass movement of military-age Chinese men coming up through South America all the way through our southern border. They're invading us through Mexico. I think they're setting up a national spy network. And they're doing it now because Trump's coming back, and they're not going to be able to do it when Biden's out. Remember, Biden works for the Chinese. He's the employee of the month every month of his presidency. So they know they have a limited time to do it. So China's moving hard to get their spy operation going here. Yes, there's a mass number of Chinese citizens, military-age men with military haircuts, making the way into America at the southern border. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll take our last break and be back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here.
All right, and it's been an exciting time this week with the precious metals. On the line, we have William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking this morning?
Metals looking good after that huge rise we had at the beginning of this week, seeing gold hit an all-time record high of $2,147. It pulled back, gave us a buying opportunity yesterday, in which we saw a lot of people coming in taking advantage of the dip. As gold closed down $10.40 yesterday at $2,018.70. Silver lost 31 cents after trading in a range of $23.92 to $24.71, closing out the day at $24.14 the ounce, down 31 cents. Platinum was down $15 at $901, and palladium was down $37 at $919. Gold trading yesterday in a range of a low of $2,009 all the way up to $2,042, and as I said, closing out the day at down $10.40. Well, that dip is being taken away from us quickly here as gold's up $10.20 this morning at $2,029. Still a great buying opportunity. And we saw overnight trading in a range of 2016 on the low up to 2035 so far this morning. Silver up 6 cents right now at $24.20. Platinum up $4 at $905, and palladium up $16 at $935. So gold, great buy right now at $2,029. Take advantage of the dip. It may not last.
Absolutely. Gold is hot. It's always hot. It's looking great. Now, what about people right now during this great time, during this dip, that want to get in with fractional gold? Tell people about fractional gold, and what are you recommending people pick up right now if they're looking to buy fractional gold?
Yeah, fractional gold comes in beautiful coins. The gold eagles come in 1/10 ounce, quarter ounce, half ounce, and 1 ounce sizes, as do some of the other countries and some of the bar sizes. Make great gifts, beautiful coins that you don't have to spend a fortune on. You can get the 10th ounce gold eagle, and we have them all in stock for immediate delivery.
Absolutely. They make great gifts for the kids and grandkids for Christmas. William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. He's located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. You can find him online at williamyoungerman.com, williamyoungerman.com, or give him a call. And again, he opens up at 10 a.m., 1-800-327-5010. That's 800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, back after this.
Warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, we are back, and we had a caller yesterday who went and took advantage of that no-charge consultation with financial advisor Joe Thomas, and I wanted to just talk about this. When you have your free phone consultation with Joe Thomas, lay it out for him. Tell him what you want. Tell him what your needs are. The price of everything. I don't care what your situation is. Unless you're Trump rich, your money's not going as far in your retirement as you want it to go. If you're already retired, you know. If you're going to be retired in the future, you've got to be fearful of that. Joe Thomas has decades of experience helping people with a very successful retirement. Talk to him about annuities. With annuities, is absolutely amazing. Your money's protected. You won't lose money like you do in the market. You'll stop losing money. In fact, you can also have guaranteed income. All right? That's always good. A little extra income, especially around the holiday time. Now, Joe Thomas is offering two things for free. Of course, his book, The Retirement Know-It-All, which is a short book that you will enjoy that's filled with tons of actionable advice for every stage of retirement. Even if you're not retired, this book is great. It's free. And he's also offering free phone consultations. No matter where you're located, you can take advantage of this. I'm going to give you his number. You can call for both the book or for the free phone consultation. If you miss the number, go to his website, jupiterjoe.com, and you can get the number at jupiterjoe.com. Call him right now, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And again, if you missed that number, just go to jupiterjoe.com. All right, back to the phones we go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, gentlemen. It's Greg.
Oh, great.
You're going to say great for defendants. Listen, Steve, it's a pleasure to talk to you. I usually call earlier when I do call, but I got to ask you quickly, Steve. How about those Dolphins?
Oh, a great story. They've given me a lot of money this year.
I was going to say, hopefully you've been going with them and doing the overs, and you've been doing very well. So good. I'm glad to hear that.
I don't mess with the overs, but I've been doing very well.
Excellent. Now listen, Steve, you brought a point of clarity. Brian, you jumped right on the gas pedal and said, we have to have a vote for expulsion today. And by the way, did Marjorie Taylor Greene, did she say she was shook violently, or was that your word, violent?
Well, she said that he, and by the way, for those out there in the listening audience, notice the technique of Greg here. Notice how he tried to I am answering the question in the way in which I want to. Look how he tried to bond with Steve over the gambling and all that stuff, because everybody knows Steve's got a gambling problem. Okay, now that, but no, what Marjorie.
Let me ask you a question. When you announced on the air that last week I put $1,000 to see, do you consider that a losing situation for me?
I'd say that's a good financial investment.
Investment, I would say.
If when Trump wins, how much do you get on that $1,000 bet? What do you get back?
About $1,200.
Okay, 1,000 for two. Okay, no, but Marjorie Taylor Greene, what she said is he grabbed her by the shoulders and shook her, and that's a violent act.
Not first of all, you inserted violently to meet your narrative.
No. I don't know any other way that you put your hands on a woman's shoulder and shake her that's not violent. It's violence.
A woman's shoulder and never even shook her. I just put it on there to say, hey, how you doing?
Well, that's not what Marjorie Taylor Greene said, and she reported it to Mike Johnson.
She didn't say violently. You did.
The action she described is an act of violence.
I agree with you. Listen, in the workplace setting, if you touched her in an offensive manner, that is unacceptable. But let's wait and see what any witnesses have to say.
So if you agree with me, why are you so hysterical?
Expulsion though today and end his career today without seeing all the evidence. Like Steve brought up, hey, have you seen the footage yet, Brian? No.
There's not going to be video footage. There probably will not be video footage.
How do you know that?
It was a private meeting, so it probably was not in a hallway. The way it was. I said, I hope there's footage, but there probably will not be.
But would you agree to wait and see if we prove it?
No. Marjorie Taylor Greene's word is good enough for me. Her word is as good as Trump's.
What are your thoughts, Steve?
I'd like to see more.
I want to see more too, but I trust her word.
Well, let's see all the evidence, and then we'll make a judgment. And if he did touch her in the way you're describing, unfortunately, he made a huge mistake, and his career should come to an end, and that should teach everyone.
Oh, so you agree with me?
Yes, I am, but I'm not saying today kick him out like you're suggesting.
They're not going to kick him out. They wouldn't have the votes.
Not embarrass him even with the vote or bring it up. Let's see all the evidence. It's fruitless. Why are you doing it then if it's fruitless? Why even do it today if it's not going to do anything?
Because, there's a big problem with the Democrats refusing to condemn violence against women with what happened in Israel, right? And I would like to have on the record who thinks it's okay and who thinks it's not okay to be violent with women.
I'm shocked any Jewish individual would vote for a Democrat, period. I don't know how they get that vote, like they get the minorities and the Jews. I don't know how they get those votes. Any Jewish person that votes for a Democrat right now, what's going on? And by the way, you got to feel bad for those Palestinian people, though. Those poor kids that are getting bombed. Like, it's sad to watch. You agree with that, right?
I don't feel bad for the Palestinians. I mean, no.
Those poor kids that are getting bombed.
I feel bad for the kids, but my understanding is the kids' parents elected Hamas.
You don't know that. Listen, a 7-year-old kid dug his whole...
I didn't say the kids. I said my understanding is that the parents voted for Hamas. They had an election and they elected Hamas.
Your understanding. Where did you get that from, Brian? You just make things up off the top of your head.
No, I'm not.
They're bombing entire buildings. You're saying they know everyone that...
Well, listen. Here's the thing. When the terrorists surround themselves with civilians to use as shields, what are they supposed to do?
It's a very difficult...
Listen, when they turn over all the hostages alive, the ones they've been raping and without mercy, then we can talk about slowing down the campaign against Gaza.
Well, Netanyahu has failed on that so far. He's not gotten them back, and if he doesn't get them...
You're not going to get them all back because a lot of them are dead. More of them are dead than they know.
Watch, I'm a Netanyahu fan, but guess what? He'll be gone soon, and I'm sure you agree with that. The Jews are against him.
I know I don't agree with that because I don't know who's going to replace him. I know there's a lot of terrorist sympathizers in the Israeli government, and I certainly wouldn't want them running Israel right now. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the Have you seen the footage, Steve, of the Israeli women walking around with their machine guns through Israel? They're so afraid. I mean, my goodness.
I know, it's a war zone, but the whole situation is sad. Palestinians are getting slaughtered. Israeli women are getting slaughtered.
Well, they shouldn't have elected terrorists to run their territory.
You understand? These people don't have the guns. The terrorists have the guns. They have no choice. It's either vote for us or die. You don't understand it, Brian. We're not talking like it's the United States where you have guns at the election booths. No, die or I'll kill your wife. Vote for us or I'll kill your kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works over there.
So we shouldn't. So Israel shouldn't respond when this act of medieval barbarism occurs. I don't understand.
Because Biden should respond, and I mean it's a disgrace what's going on over there, especially the maritime stuff, where we let them.
They attacked a U.S. ship, and we've done nothing. You thought it was an Israeli ship? Oh, okay, yeah, nothing.
All the analysts for the U.S., all the analysts are commenting on it and saying this is terrible. Why aren't we fighting back? We got to stand up because what we're doing now is playing into Hamas's hands.
Well, we know Biden's not going to do anything. That's nothing like shocking to us. We know he would never even stand up against any of that.
This is pretty extreme.
So are you still Greg for DeSantis as his campaign has fizzled?
I'm voting for DeSantis. If he's in the primary, I told you, I don't just... Listen, I'm a loyal person, Brian. I guess you're not. I told you I was supporting DeSantis, and I'm not just jumping off the ship because things are bad, okay?
Mm.
I have a reason I supported him.
But you're conceding that Sanders is a big troll. That basically...
Oh, he can use... Listen, it's pretty much over, Steve. I'm a realist. Yeah, but I'm sticking with my man, and guess what? I hope he gets out in a very respectful manner, and then I'm on Trump. I'm all with Trump there.
What do you any thoughts on President Trump said last night at the town hall that Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis are taking money from Democrats for their campaign? Well, how would that make you feel if he was taking money from Democrats? Trump said he is. I believe Trump.
Like individual donors or huge step?
President Trump didn't say. He said both are taking money from Democrats.
I don't know anything about Brian. I'm not going to comment on something I don't know about.
No, then why'd you even call? I mean, your whole call is things you don't know about. Well, it's good to hear from Greg. Greg's a good caller. I don't mind people that disagree. Yeah, Greg's a great caller. I like Greg. That's why I kept him on so long. Yep. All right. Thanks for your call. Now, just a reminder, it is, because I want to be clear, because we're promoting it early, Sunday, December 17th, a week from this Sunday, Steve and I will be at Wings Plus in Coral Springs on Sample Road. It's a week from Sunday, the 17th at 2 p.m. All right, we'll be there for lunch. Oh, okay. You can go early. I'll be there at around 2. Okay. I'll be there for wings. I'll be kicking off wings, and I'm going to have at least 2 baskets, and then I'm going to take a basket home. I get the lemon pepper. I like extra crispy. The medium hot, I like drenched in as much of the medium hot sauce as I can get on there. You know. I'm gonna order a basket of medium hot with extra sauce and a basket of the lemon pepper.
ever taste.
Oh, yeah. You'll never have wings anywhere else ever again until after you've had the wings at Wings Plus, where everything is homemade. You'll never eat wings anywhere else again. Even the sauces on the wings are homemade. And if you want something on the side with your wings, order the clam chowder. That's homemade. Everything is homemade at Wings Plus. Nothing comes out of a can. Wings Plus is located on Sample Road, about a mile west of University Drive, on the south side of Sample Road. And again, we'll be there a week from Sunday, December 17th at 2 p.m. Steve will be early. I'll be there at 2. And you are all invited. Everyone's invited. You know what? Even now, the John's invited to that one. But you can't sit at our table now, the John. You got to find your own table. But you're all invited. Well, that's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow. And I only got to about a quarter of my show prep today, but so much is happening. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. Steve Kane, of course, has been here. We'll be back tomorrow with much, much more. There'll be more breaking news, I promise you. The world's falling apart under this senile old coot we got. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.
WSFS 104.3 HD3.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and like the video before you go. And I'll see you later. Take care.